Think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
Hello.
What's good, everybody? AB Media 83 here. Welcome to the Colosseum. Hope everybody's doing all right tonight. Tonight, we're covering Hurricane Helene. For those of you who have been living under a rock, Hurricane Helene has hit multiple states, and the relief effort is the equivalent of Katrina. And in fact, according to some people, it's actually the government's response is actually worse than Katrina, which I didn't think was possible, especially coming from a Democrat administration. But on the other hand, we have a dementia patient in the White House and an incompetent uh, prosecutor as his vice president. So, what do you expect? What do you expect? And don't worry, don't worry. There will be plenty of we have plenty of how can I say this? We have plenty of word salad to cover with Hidden Valley Ranch today. Word salad with Hidden Valley Ranch. Yeah. But before we do that, let me set it up for you here. Let me go to TikTok. Let me set this up real quick. If you look at the title, I have not so Magic Johnson in the title. Well, there's a specific reason why I have that in the title, and I'm about to show it to you. What's going on, Lewis? But yeah, not so Magic, no Magic Johnson. He made some. I'll give you a hint where this is going. He made some comments at a Kamala Harris rally, and well, hear it for yourself.
Now, there's a lot of black men in here, and I don't mean to, not talk to other people, but this is important. Our black men, we got to get them out to vote.
Let's listen to that again.
Now, there's a lot of black men in here, and I don't mean to, not talk to other people, but this is important. Our black men, we got to get them out to vote. That's number.
Oh, they have to get us out to vote. Okay. Why? Why, Magic? Why?
That's number one. Kamala's opponent promised a lot of things last.
Oh, in other words, he's trying to tell you, but Trump. But anyway,
Last time to the black community that he did not deliver on.
oh, and Joe Biden's delivered to the black community. Kamala Harris has to deliver to the black community. Really, Magic? Really? Really?
And we got to make sure we help black men understand that.
Understand that Joe Biden hasn't done anything for us in the 4 years he's been there. Understand that he has allowed migrants to take over black neighborhoods. Understand that he has given migrants money. Oh, um, actually, I am glad you said that. You said show the sun. Well, do I still have that picture in here? Uh, do I still have that picture in? Oh, I do. You mean this? You mean Magic Johnson's son right here? Oh wait, that's not his son. That's Simone Sanders. But she sure as hell looked like his son. Looked like his son. Just saying. Let's continue.
So that's why I'm here, to make sure I help black men understand. First, get out and vote, and then vote for the next president of the United States, Kamala Harris.
That's what No Magic Johnson's message is to y'all. We need to go vote for Kamala Harris. Mm, put a one in the chat if you're motivated to vote for Kamala Harris because Magic Johnson says so. Put a two in the chat if you think, oh hell no. By the way, I got 15 watching. Like, share, subscribe. Let's hit the Cash App. Support the show. Hit the Super Chat. Support the show. Are you not entertained? But yeah, Magic Johnson wants us to go out and vote for Kamala Harris. You ain't shit. You ain't shit, Lewis. But okay. Oh boy. Minus when I hear that. But yeah, Magic Johnson wants us to go out and vote for Kamala Harris. Why would we do that? I have no idea. But yeah, this hurricane disaster has been something to behold. Kamala Harris allegedly is saying that if the uh, if the resident qualify, that they'll get $750. Based on the reports, people have applied for the $750, but have not been able to get it. Also, it's been reported that FEMA is blocking citizens from helping these hurricane victims because it's an election year and they don't want to look bad. Well, stopping stopping citizens from helping citizens is supposed to make you look good. Did they stop and think about that? Probably not, but still. But yeah, that's Magic Johnson's message to you. Go vote for Kamala Harris. Whoop-de-doo. Now, before I play this next video, apparently FEMA has come out and said that they don't have money for hurricane victims. They don't have the funds for hurricane victims this hurricane season, but they had 600. I had over $600 million to give to the migrants. Let me say that again in case you didn't hear me. FEMA claims. Yeah, that's it. That's a good question. FEMA claims that they don't have money hurricane victims, and but they had $650 million to give to illegal migrants for income, shelter, and food stamps. Yeah, let that sink in for a minute. A federal government program is openly admitting that they don't have money for relief victims, but they have money to fund migrants, give them food stamps and a monthly allowance, but they don't have money to give to hurricane victims, to taxpayers who pay taxes in this country. Oh, if you listen to some people on Facebook, migrants aren't getting any money. I had a dude try to tell me that. I was like, okay, don't go to Chicago and say that shit. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Neymar, what's going on?
Who's the private dick that's a sex machine for all the chicks?
Uh,
Chef. It's October, and instead of wearing the rose pink, the pink ribbon, I put up Shaft because he was a survivor of that form of cancer. You know what I'm saying?
yep.
So yeah. Oh, by the way, I've seen pictures of EJ Johnson. Looks way he looks a lot better. He's a lot better looking than Simone Sanders. Nothing says nothing says what black women are more masculine than when a gay brother looks better than them.
Yeah, well, what you expect?
Nothing. I mean, you look at Simone Sanders. I mean, you look at her, you're like, that bitch look like she can fight. You look like she's had many scraps in many relationships. Just like what's her face?
Yeah.
Just like what's her face from
Now,
Ghostbusters. Go ahead.
Wow. Just
Now, this next segment is going to be called. Let me get my little banner up here. This next segment is going to be called "But the Republicans." You're gonna see why in a minute.
realized how uneducated people are on a basic level of how government works. This is the reason why there's so much misinformation going around, and people are just ready to believe it because they don't understand how government works on the most basic level. Here's
Oh, we don't. Okay.
an example. People crying on here about how they're only getting $750 for hurricane relief, saying, how come Biden and Kamala aren't doing anything about it? Well, it's because they don't control the money.
Okay.
They don't control the money. The president or the vice president has no control over the money.
That's
Mm,
delegated to who?
Congress.
No, it's Congress who gets to get the stamp of approval for that.
Yes.
But I'm
do
talking
nothing
about
with the money.
But what I'm trying to say is like, who's responsible with distributing the money on the ground? Which agency is responsible for that? Is it?
FEMA.
And aren't they supposed to coordinate that with local, county, as well as state level officials?
Yes.
And isn't that states? It is, and doesn't FEMA have their own branch offices in each particular state, as they are a federal
Oh,
agency?
yes.
Money. Again, they do nothing with the money. Congress controls the money. They are the ones that figure out who gets what and how much. Congress, only Congress. FEMA had a request for more money for disaster relief. And
But what she's not telling you is FEMA already spent $650 million on migrants. housing them, giving them food stamp cards. But she's leaving that part out.
Wait a minute, is that FEMA or I thought that was the INS who was supposed to be responsible for that shit?
FEMA. They were getting money from FEMA. $600 million worth, $1 billion over the last 2 years.
Explain that to me. What jurisdiction does FEMA have over them? Over migrants? Because that's an immigration issue.
Yeah, FEMA is specifically set up for disaster relief, but
Yeah.
the Biden administration has been using FEMA to house migrants.
What in the all types of blue hell?
You can't make this shit up. Peace, good brother Art.
Salaam alaikum.
Congress, which is Republican led, said no money for you because they.
Well, when you have $650 million, you couldn't. Well, first of all, you're spending you're FEMA. You're supposed to be spending money on disaster relief, but you spend $650 million on illegal migrants. But
My question is this. Here's my question. Who's the head of FEMA?
What's that dude's name? The Republicans, to their credit, try to impeach him. Mayorkas.
Let me look him up. The head of FEMA. See, no, but you know what? I'm tempted to quote George Carlin here, but I'm just gonna look it up, FEMA, because I'm just trying to see where the hell Federal Emergency Management Agency.
Yep.
Okay.
They are designed to give out money for disasters like hurricanes.
Okay, the administrator is a Deanne Criswell.
Deanne Criswell?
Deanne Bennett Criswell.
Well, Deanne Bennett Criswell has been.
She was appointed by Biden in 2021.
Yep. Has been giving money to migrants.
They control the money. Now, the reason why the Republican-led Congress said no to more FEMA money is because they don't want any problems solved during an election period. They gave Biden and Harris the money that they requested for FEMA, and it would make them look good. And the Republicans do not want them to look good during an election period. Therefore, any problems that arise within this election cycle, unless it benefits the Republicans, it will not pass because they don't want to solve any problems.
Okay, FEMA spent $650 million on something they shouldn't be involved in. But you're asking why the Republicans aren't giving them money.
Oh wait, immigrant
on top
INS
of
was
on
dissolved.
top of the fact, FEMA is blocking people from helping the stranded people in those areas right now.
Yeah. By the way, INS was dissolved in 2003.
Oh, okay.
They were dissolved, and
you want to keep the problems on the table that you can vote their way.
Please do not give any supplies to FEMA. If you want to donate supplies to the hurricane survivors from Hurricane Helene, do not give the supplies to FEMA. Give them to a church, give them to a nonprofit. FEMA is not doing what they are supposed to be doing, okay? They don't care about people.
This is not the first time I've heard something like this. I've heard people say the same thing about the Red Cross. Don't give stuff to the Red Cross. It goes through 5 or 6 different hands before it even gets to the people it's supposed to be helping. So this kind of mess is not surprising me.
Oh, INS was succeeded that day, and they were reformed as ICE or ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement Agency. So,
okay,
why aren't they in charge of this shit? Because you're dealing with migrants. This is an immigration issue, not a humanitarian issue.
They are not here to help people at all. They're not helping people. They are taking supplies and giving them to people who don't even need them. They are taking supplies and running off with them. Do not give any supplies to FEMA at all. If you want to donate supplies, donate them to a nonprofit or to a church. Do not give them to FEMA, okay? And people, let me tell you something, okay? I've been hearing so many stories. FEMA has been knocking on doors, not offering help, just there to ask, hey, what's going on? That's it. Not offering help or anything. Do not, please.
So a woman is too young to date an
Pause that for
older
a minute.
man.
Pause a minute. Pause a minute.
We
Pause
have
a
a-
minute.
Mm-hmm.
He said people he's heard. So this is like second or third hand information he's getting. Like supposedly FEMA agents are going door to door.
Yeah, I can't
Asking
confirm
questions.
that. I can't confirm
Yeah,
that.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We don't know if that's accurate or not.
Yeah, we don't know if that's accurate. That's why I just skipped over it. But
Good move.
A lot of people getting turned down for the $750 in aid that Kamala Harris announced because their income doesn't allow them to qualify for it. And what are people doing? They're finding a way to bring Donald Trump in and criticize him. This man went down as a private citizen with a truck full of food and supplies to give to the hurricane victims. Brought in Elon Musk to help the hurricane victims with communication so that they can get in touch with other people. But what are people doing? They're criticizing him. How can you criticize somebody for doing something to help? If that had been Kamala Harris, as much as I have criticized her based on her policy positions, if she were a private citizen and she went down with a truck full of food and supplies, started a GoFundMe that raised almost $4 million, I would applaud her for that 100%. And I can guarantee you this much. The people who are down there who were impacted by this hurricane do not care who shows up to deliver help. They're just glad that somebody shows up. I have been watching people on the news that have been talking about they've been in the same house for days. They can't get out because the flood waters are rising. They can't get the help they need. Then you have somebody coming down with supplies, coming down with food to help the hurricane victims, and people are getting upset about it. You people really need to think about what you're saying, because it makes absolutely no sense. Why would you get mad over somebody helping? And why is it that people feel that they can judge what is in somebody else's heart? People are saying he did that because of this. He did that because of that. This is a political stunt for him. You don't know why somebody is doing what they're doing.
Which it is.
but even if it is, so what? He's showing he's
It's
doing
working.
something. He's showing he's doing something while the sitting vice president, and I'm going to get to her in a minute, is cackling while talking to the FEMA. I wish I was making that up.
What makes you God that you can sit in a seat of power and say what is in somebody else's heart? This $750 in relief is only going to certain families whose income qualifies for it. And then if your income does qualify for it, you have to wait, I believe it's 10 days before you receive that $750. And I know somebody's going to say there's more money coming. I understand that there's more money coming, but people need help now. He showed up right then and there with food and supplies that the people were able to get right then. They didn't have to wait 10 days for it. They didn't have to fill out an application online or call somebody to get it. They were able to get what they needed right then. Why are we?
Yeah, that's another problem. Apparently, this application to get this $750 is online, but you forget that thousands of people don't have power or Wi-Fi or phone service. So how are they supposed to get that money?
I mean, where can they go to register? First of all,
Online,
to apply for that.
on
No,
it's
go ahead.
on a website. That's what I'm telling you. How are they going to do it?
Yeah, online. That's what I'm asking. Because, like, when they're being evacuated, there's a place they have to be evacuated to, right? During the relief, or unless people are caught up in the storm.
Yeah, but there's no
Even
guarantee
though-
there's going to be internet there wherever
Okay.
they're going.
Fair enough.
Be criticizing somebody who was willing to help.
Yep.
It is
So
an
unless you've been
election
under
year.
a rock the last day.
Hmm?
There's
Right.
not enough money for the
Southeast, but FEMA gave San Diego $20 million for an immigrant welcome center. There's not enough money for the Southeast, but we just gave $8 billion to Ukraine on Monday.
Yep.
There's not enough money for the Southeast, but we gave $8.7 billion to Israel on Monday. There's not enough money for the Southeast, but we gave Taiwan $563 million on Monday.
Yep.
There's not enough money for the Southeast, but we give all non-citizens in this country housing vouchers, food stamps, and get your life together money. There's not enough money for the Southeast, but every donation that has come in this far has been confiscated by FEMA. And we've all been told that donations have to go through FEMA from now on. There's not enough money for the Southeast, yet we've been told not to bring resources, supplies, and help, to take them to one of the federal FEMA camps, and they will reallocate them. We've given all our money away, so Kamala Harris has offered $750 for the victims of Hurricane Helene. There's not enough money for the Southeast, but FEMA gave San Diego.
This is what we're dealing with.
And then
If you
some.
didn't know,
Yeah, that's some ratchet shit. We'll get to that later.
Thank you. Not the time or the place for that right now.
But Kamala Harris has responded to the crisis.
Was she sober at the time?
I'll let you judge for yourself. Let's start with the initial interview. I mean, initial press conference.
This. I think that in these state and local leaders, Mayor, I want to thank you for your leadership in particular on the ground. I am here to personally take a look at the devastation, which is extraordinary, and it is and particularly devastating in terms of the loss of life that this community has experienced, the loss of normalcy, and the loss of critical resources. And so I'm here today to thank all of those who are working to get folks the support and the relief that they so desperately need and so rightly deserve. And that includes the fact that still in this community, up to 60% of the residents here do not have power. Many have been without running water for at least a couple of days now. Many have water but no hot water. I was just talking with one of the members of the community and her daughter who lost her husband. And there is real pain and trauma that has resulted because of this this hurricane and what has happened in terms of the aftermath of it. I do want to acknowledge and thank the first responders who have been extraordinary. Having met with them, they are the kind of folks that are the heroes in moments of crisis, who do extraordinary work that is about lifting up other people. As it relates in particular to the leaders who are here and doing that work, including the first responders, most of them, as it relates to the local folks, are folks who have personally and their families have personally experienced loss and devastation, and yet they leave their home, leave their family to go to centers like where I was earlier to do the work of helping perfect strangers. And it really does highlight the nobility of the kind of work that these public servants have dedicated themselves to, which can be in moments of crisis like this so selfless in the way that they do that work. The president and I have been paying close attention from the beginning to what we need to do to make sure the federal resources hit the ground as quickly as possible. And that includes what was.
Oh, you mean by making sure nobody else helps them, but the federal government drags their feet, so while the federal government drags their feet and help them? Okay.
Here's my question. What about the governors of the states that have been affected, as well as the mayors of the towns and parishes that were also affected? Have they mentioned anything? I mean, I understand the buck stops with the folks at the White House, but at the end of the day, they're the ones on the ground right there who've been directly affected, and they are the direct administrators of these affected
I'm sure they
areas.
have, but I haven't seen anything in my stream. So
Well, fair. Hey, have
Was
to ask the
necessary
questions, right?
to make sure that we provided direct federal assistance, and that work has been happening. I want to thank the governor for his leadership and his close coordination with the federal government, with our administration, and I want to thank the local leaders for together creating a task force-like response, knowing that we are at our best when we work together and coordinate resources, coordinate our communications to the maximum effect for the community that has been impacted. And the federal relief and assistance that we have been providing has included FEMA providing $750 for folks who need immediate needs being met, such as food, baby formula, and the like. And you can apply now for anyone who's watching this who has been affected. There are FEMA personnel who are going door to door to interact personally with folks, especially those who do not have electricity. But also that aid, if you have electricity, can be applied for online. And I encourage people to do that. FEMA will just basically verify your address and then process you. Take hold. FEMA is also providing tens of thousands more dollars for folks to help them be able to deal with home repair, to be able to cover a deductible when and if they have insurance, and also hotel costs. Today, I'm also announcing that the president has approved the governor's request for 100% federal reimbursement of local costs. And Mayor, as you have pointed out, the burden to local governments, including the state government, is pretty immense. And so by announcing today and making the dedicated resources to cover 100% of local costs will have a huge impact on our ability to get relief to people as quickly as possible. And that will include, for example, what the federal government will do to reimburse local and state governments around issues like debris removal, which you can see just up and down this street, much less in other areas of the state and in the region. This is a big issue. I was speaking with one of the residents of the community who needs that big tree removed so she can actually get to work and make sure that her child is able to get to school when the schools reopen. So this is a very big part of the recovery process. That money of the federal reimbursement will also help with emergency services that are now being provided by the state, so that they can be reimbursed and then have the resources to keep providing those emergency services. Also, we will be covering the local government costs for food, water, and shelter. Again, resources that are desperately needed by the members of this community. And so my final point to the residents of this community and the region is that we are here for the long haul. There is the work that we have done together that was the immediate response, preparation for, and then the immediate response after. But there's a lot of work that's going to need to happen over the coming days, weeks, and months. And the coordination that we have dedicated ourselves to will be long lasting to get families, to get residents, to get neighborhoods back up and running. And my last point is this. I think that in these moments of hardship, one of the beauties about who we are as a country is people really rally together and show the best of who.
So is that why you're making sure nobody helps these people outside of FEMA? Thank you. No placeholder for the $5 holler. Every little bit helps.
Who they are in moments of crisis. And we've seen that throughout the region where communities are coming together, where people are helping perfect strangers, where they are providing food, water, shelter for their neighbors. And that neighbor may be somebody they've never met before, but are doing the work of helping each other out. And I think it really highlights the fact that the vast majority of us have so much more in common than what separates us. And that the strength of who we are is we come to each other's aid in a time of need. So I thank everyone for doing that kind of work every day. And with that, there is more work to be done. Thank you all. Thank you.
Madam Vice President, on people who are missing?
I did receive updates in terms of what's happening in the state, and so far the number looks to be 33. The mayor was just sharing with me 7 alone in Augusta Richmond County. So the numbers are coming in, and part of the challenge of being accurate at this moment is that there are still so many areas that are remote, also rural areas, areas that are not easily accessible. So the assessment of the damage is being done across the board. And of course, the highest priority is to locate and determine individuals, people who are in need, and making sure we're getting to them as quickly as possible. Thank you.
Oh, she didn't stay long for questions.
No,
So
the
President
handlers
Biden
would
is in
allow her
Georgia.
to.
Huh?
You know those handlers got to keep her bubble wrapped.
Oh yeah,
Secondly,
oh
if you
yeah, that's
notice,
right.
like,
They have to keep the bubble wrap on. I forgot about that.
secondly, if you notice when she was addressing the crowd, she kept looking to her right,
Mm-hmm.
as if somebody was feeding her information or some shit like that.
Yep.
What type of bullshit is this? But then again, on the flip side, it's like the roles have been reversed, because you remember about 6 years ago, you had Hurricane Maria,
Mm-hmm.
and Trump was criticized for his mishandling of it, especially how it affected Puerto Rico and whatnot. And Puerto Rico is part of the U.S. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody can get it. Everybody gonna get it, one way or another.
Now this next clip.
Georgia, you can see there the VP.
Yeah, that's just the news anchors talking. Now this next clip is her in a FEMA meeting, and apparently
No.
this just happened a few hours ago. So this is relatively new.
Dan Criswell.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Kamala Harris. Thank you for your work. Thank you for your work. Thank you. Good to see you again.
Hi, I'm Esmeralda Mayor of Asheville.
Oh, yes, of course, Mayor. It's good to talk to you.
Yes, it was good to talk to you.
I'm looking forward to our conversation. Thank you. Thank you again, Mayor. Thank you, Governor.
Gotta keep up appearances.
Thank you, Robert. Do you have to do the job?
Oh wait, pause for a minute. Pause for a minute. You see the woman on the left with the glasses?
Yeah.
That's Deanne Criswell, head of FEMA.
Oh, okay.
That one with the glasses right there on the left. Behind the guy. Okay.
Yeah, I see what you're
One
talking
with the
about.
glasses. That here.
You know something else in this shot though?
What? There's no Biden.
No.
What?
Look on the other side. You don't see the cackle.
What am I looking?
You don't see the cackle face.
AB, why do you gotta traumatize me like that, man? Why do you gotta traumatize it? You just hit. You know what? Now you brought out the Coach Prime in me. You just had to. You ain't no good. You know you ain't good. You ain't no good. You know that. Come on, Shannon. You ain't no good.
But there's the cackle face at a FEMA meeting talking about, survivors.
Somebody must have cracked the joke. That's all I'm gonna say, because you know how these people like to be, faking that humor and shit.
Kamala Harris, Chief, thank you so very much. General, thank you. Congresswoman, thank you. Thank you. Please have a seat, everybody.
Oh, she looks so presidential now.
Well, Madam Vice President, we are so glad to see you and welcome you once again to North Carolina. This has been an unprecedented disaster for our state. But what you are seeing, thanks to you, the Biden-Harris administration, state and local officials, volunteers, private organizations, this has been a massive, unprecedented response. We are deeply grateful for the federal resources that we have. FEMA has been on the ground with us since the very beginning of this. So we look forward to briefing and giving you details about the significant progress that's happening and all that we have to do. Unfortunately, we have 68 people who lost their lives, but people are still working hard in search and rescue to save people and to surge resources into Western North Carolina. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Governor. And I thank you all, everyone here. I've talked with many of you within actually hours and certainly days of Helene hitting this beautiful state. And I thank you all for the work you've been doing around the clock. Administrator, you and I have talked many, many times, and your team on the ground are just doing extraordinary work. But the work that's happening here that is so positively impacting so many people is really an example of the best we can do when we bring resources together at the federal, state, and local level.
$750 that people are having a hard time getting is the best you
Getting
can do.
access. By
Get
the way,
access.
folks, that person who just talked, who was addressing her, that was Roy Cooper, Democrat governor of North Carolina. And 750? That's all they're getting?
Yep.
Is that the lump sum, or is that we talking like on a weekly, monthly
I've
basis? Like, what are we
heard.
talking?
I've heard. Now, I can't confirm this for the record, but I heard this is actually in the form of a loan.
What? Oh, you know what? If that's the case, a lot of people should be counting the lucky star. They don't qualify for that shit. But then again, a
Yeah,
loan, what's
that's
what's
what
the
I've heard.
interest rate though?
I don't know, but I don't know what the interest rate is, but I heard people who have read through that paperwork said that it's like a loan and you have to pay it back over a year. I don't know if that's true or not though. So let's continue.
We don't know. We
and
can't be
tap
confirmed.
into the kind of collegiality that produces results. And this is the work that you all have been doing. For the folks who are local, I also know what this means for each of you as a leader, to be a leader at a time that your own homes, your families, your friends, people you know, your community has been directly hit. For the folks that work in your various divisions and offices, I know that they've been showing up at a moment of need for others, even when their own families and their own homes have been directly impacted. I think that these moments of crisis bring out some of the best of who we can be and who we are. I've been seeing and hearing the stories from here in North Carolina about strangers who are helping each other out, giving people assistance in every way that they need, including shelter, food, and friendship and fellowship. And so I thank everyone for all the work that they've been doing, those who are in the room and those who are out there right now working around the clock. And I'm also here because I wanted to make an announcement that yesterday we added Mecklenburg County to the major disaster declaration. So that means that we're going to be getting substantial resources in to help folks, and in particular to help them now be able to apply for federal assistance for a range of things that will be including home repair, what folks need in terms of generators or even just compensation for the generators that they've had to buy, the kind of shelter that they've had to seek, including hotels. And federal assistance for these issues is, I know, extremely important because a lot of folks don't save for these kinds of emergencies. And when they hit, it takes a real drain on their resources and ability to take care of themselves and their family. But again, I thank everybody here. I'm looking forward to our briefing. And I will say that also we are looking forward to working with our congressional partners. And Congresswoman, you've been a great leader to work with your colleagues, as you always do, so that we can get Congress to also issue the resources that FEMA will need to be an active and resourced federal partner with all of you on the ground at the state and local level. And with that, let's start our briefing.
All right, thank you, Madam Vice President. At this time, I dismiss the press. Thank you for joining us today.
That's it.
I'm looking up this Deanne Criswell character, and
for now,
no, I'm looking up her.
Yeah, that's an interview she did. We'll go over that later.
Yeah, I'm just looking up her credentials right now. This woman, let's see, BS from Colorado State, University of Colorado, Denver, MPA, Naval Postgraduate School, MS. She has a master's from there.
Mm-hmm.
This woman served in the Air Force between 92 and 2013. She reached the rank of Senior Master Sergeant. She was a member of the Colorado Air National Guard 140th Wing. That's Air Force National Guard stationed at Buckley Space Bugley Space Air Force Base in Aurora, Colorado.
Okay.
Wow. So this woman is not. This is not some pushover. She's been involved in She's been in. She was commissioner of New York City's emergency management under Bill de Blasio.
Interesting. Okay, I got 38 watching. Like, share, subscribe. Hit my Cash App. Support the show. Hit the super chat. Support the show.
Yeah.
The
So she's
Sergeant
been hit.
Tax. Sergeant Tax is in
Sorry.
effect now since Charles is in the building.
Oh, yeah. It's your boy Ric Flair. I'm just looking at you, and I'm gonna have my way with you at WrestleMania. Because not only am I gonna take your pride, your style, and profile, I'm taking back the WWF Championship. Oh, yeah.
Rest in power, the Macho Man Randy Savage.
And Lenny Poffo, for that matter. In fact, the entire family. The only survivor left of that family is Lenny's daughter, who has the power of attorney of the entire state.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he died last year, and left everything to his daughter.
Okay.
But yeah, like I said, this Deanne Criswell, she left her post as commissioner of the New York City Emergency Management under Blasio in 2021 to become head of FEMA. She was appointed by Biden.
Oh.
April 26, 2021 is when she assumed office of head of FEMA, head administrator of FEMA. And her assistant and her deputy is a man named Eric Hooks, an American public safety official. He was previously served as secretary of North Carolina's Department of Public Safety between 2017 and August 2021. He's been in his current position since December 13, 2021, appointed under Biden.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Under Roy Cooper, he was North Carolina's Department of Public Safety. So it's important we know. Oh, wait a minute. This guy he's got a bachelor's and master's degrees from North Carolina State U. All right. It's important we know who these people are. At least we know not just the heads, but also the important agencies and where everybody is and all this. But I'm sorry, but Kamala, when I hear her talk, it's just it's like she's trying too hard to try to copy Obama or some shit like that.
Yeah. She's trying to look serious, but I just don't take her seriously.
You can't. Have a conversation with some of these people. I think she's drunk, but I wouldn't be surprised if she took a couple of swigs before she showed up.
I wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised at all.
All that shit.
But we already covered the VP debate, which was crazy. Let's see, can I play this?
Go ahead.
No, I'm trying to see. No, it's a clip. Damn. Oh, hold on, wait a minute. For those of you who don't know that Byron Donalds went on Byron Donalds, a black Republican, went on the Breakfast Club and had a little exchange with Angela Rye with lettuce and tomato on the side. Now, since the Breakfast Club are dickheads about their content, I have to put this up. Make sure.
Cover all the bases. And cover your ass as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, was brought to us by Kamala Harris, has really slowed down people from being able to excel.
By Kamala?
Yes.
Vice president.
Yes.
Vice president.
Yes.
Vice president.
Oh, Charlemagne.
It's still the president.
Charlemagne, listen, man. When Joe Biden wanted to do his American Rescue Plan, Kamala Harris was the tie-breaking vote in the United States Senate. She broke the tie that started this
Very true.
inflation that has hurt so many people in our country. Everybody listening to your show, it's not true?
Well, that I have to go.
First of all,
you sure you want to go there?
Yeah, that's Angela Rye with less than tomato on the side.
breaking vote.
You sure you want to go there?
Go outside, Congressman, when you go outside.
You sure
in
you want to
your
go there?
district,
2 years ago, as vice president, I was proud to cast the tie-breaking vote that sent the bill that gave Medicare.
Did these, when she said tie-breaking vote, did these morons know what they were cheering for?
Of course not.
Before, but it seems like somebody in the audience coordinated that shit. This is why I hate these. This is why I don't pay attention to rallies. But go ahead.
The power to negotiate and let it get to the president's desk. And I was proud when our president, Joe Biden, signed that bill into law.
Let's go there.
You had it.
You got notes. You got notes, Angela, right?
That's fine. I have notes.
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it to Charlemagne.
I have today
I'm gonna give it to Charlemagne.
is that on
I don't
every
even want to hold
question
it
I've asked,
because Angela, hold on now. Go ahead.
for every infrastructure project in your community,
You can go to
should
third
go
page,
out
just the
and
highlighted
thank
portion.
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and the Congress that voted for the American Rescue Plan.
Angela,
That's what should be happening.
Larry Summers wrote an op-ed back in 2021. Larry Summers was the Treasury Secretary for Bill Clinton. He was an economic advisor to Barack Obama. He said that the American Rescue Plan that Joe Biden wanted, that Kamala Harris was the tie-breaking vote in the United States Senate, would create a massive inflation that we have not seen in a generation. Well, guess what?
Yeah, he was right, unfortunately.
Summers was correct.
Some big names like Obama's former economic advisor, Larry Summers, are now saying, hold on, let's take a step back. This might be creating more risks than good for the economy.
Scarlett, I'm so glad you mentioned Larry Summers. He's making a really fascinating case in an op-ed.
But that was just a nice little snippet of that interview with Byron Donalds in the Breakfast Club.
First of all, this is the Breakfast Club we're talking about. You know how they are.
Yeah,
they're just divisive. They're just it's just basically it's just entertainment. They just like to stir shit up until that one time, you know, that Charlemagne got that love tap from old loudmouth from Cali.
Oh, you talking about Larry Elder?
Yeah, old Larry Elder. Because he don't give a fuck. He secured his position. You know, and he doesn't care what you think. You know, he's been in the game.
Oh, he's a well-paid coon.
He's a well-paid coon who protects, who knows where his bread is buttered. And he's dealing with a bunch of you know, clickbait jackasses, especially Charlemagne.
Speaking of well-paid coons, this episode of Colosseum Night was brought to you by Sweet, Sassy, Rollin' Vote Blue Sauce. Now with extra sassy blue juice. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the Cash App. Support the show. Hit the Super Chat. Support the show. If you support the show, you get an extra pig coon with your order of Sweet, Sassy, Rollin' Vote Blue juice.
First of all, that's an insult to Pig Meat Markham. How do you say that motherfucker's name? The comedian, Pig Meat something? Hold on, let me look it up. Markham. First of all, that's an insult to Pig Meat Markham. Shit.
It is an insult to pigs.
It is a roast at the hogs, man. Especially all the folks who like to do the whole hog roasting.
Yeah, but get your Sweet and Sassy Rollin' Vote Blue juice.
Well, in the words of Clay Davis, all I gotta say is, Shit.
Slow night tonight.
Got
But
to it.
yeah.
It just started. Just give it a minute. Everybody's picking up. Remember, everybody's really exhausted from the marathon with Mr. Z's breakfast stream. That shit
Yeah.
went 9 hours and then some.
Damn.
9.5 hours. Cut it off.
He's on for that long. Good Lord.
He was off for that long. Well, we were supposed to cut it short, but shit happened. I mean, especially with Black Guru's internet went off. So there was no benediction, and we went off a little extra.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to shut it down and everything because his cell phone was at 3%. Gotta cut it off at then.
But yeah, did you catch what I played earlier with Magic Johnson?
Mm-hmm. I saw that.
Are you well you're not you don't live in the United States, so I can't. It's not really pointless to ask you. Do you feel eager to vote for Kamala Harris now because Magic Johnson said we had to do so?
No, it's gonna take more than that to convince black men to go to to head to the polls and vote for this bitch.
Okay,
Excuse my French.
Of course it is.
It's gonna take a whole lot more, man. I mean, first of all, they might they might come to the polls in droves and vote red. But then again, but then again, like I said, it's Trump's election to lose because he's always just one wrong move away from fucking shit up. And next thing you know, they're like, oh,
no, that's true. But you got to remember, they Democrats have people like Lil Darryl coming out there. My name, Lil Darryl. My name, Lil Darryl. Leave Kamala alone.
Don't forget Van Jones. We got to protect this system. We got to protect this system. We got to protect this. Protect her from what? She's not under attack.
Oh, Crying Jones.
Van Crying Jones. Van Crocodile Tears Jones. If I want to see a man cry, all I gotta do is watch Lenny Williams sing "Cause I Love You."
Wait a minute. Did you say Crying Jones? Where is it?
Crocodile Tears Jones. Crocodile Tears Jones, man.
Oh crap! Where'd I put it? Crap.
But you know where I'm getting at.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think I took it off. Oh no! Oh wait a minute! No, I still have it. Never mind.
Thank God he wasn't snotty. Shut up, you sniffling motherfucker, you.
Crying Jones.
Shit. Wait, do you have a Bishop Bullwinkle clip?
Ooh.
Do you have the Bishop Bullwinkle clip?
No.
Oh man. I guess I gotta be singing "Hell to the No, huh?
Hell no to the no.
Wait. Play the Magic Johnson clip for me.
Oh, give me a second. Let's see. Click out of that.
Hey, it's a Colosseum. We get a little reckless in here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Now, there's a lot of black men in here, and I don't mean to, not talk to other people, but this is important.
Uh-huh.
Is it?
Our black men, we got to get them out to vote. That's number one.
Pause. Hell no to the no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no. Listen.
Kamala's opponent promised a lot of things last time to the black community that he did not deliver.
Magic, why are you talking about Joe Biden like that?
And We got to make sure we help black men understand that. So that's why I'm here, to make sure I help black men understand. First, get out and vote, and then vote for the next president of the United States, Kamala Harris. Now,
Why?
Well, the question should be, what do you have to lose from a Trump presidency?
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, what do you have to gain from a Harris presidency?
Yeah, why should
Then
we
again,
vote for
he
them
has a
out?
right to endorse who he wishes. Sometimes everybody has their reasons for endorsing who they support. But I mean, I've met people who are Trump supporters, and at least they were righteous and honest with what they thought, man.
Yeah.
Some it's economic, others they it's buying. I'm like, hey, I understand. But me personally, the way I look at it, it doesn't matter who's in power. Either way, y'all are collectively fucked.
Yeah, well. What's going on, Charles?
Oh, hang on. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Black Dynamite. Black Dynamite.
Dynamite.
Charles, unmute yourself, man. Look at this motherfucker. Look at this. Look
He
at
might
this
be doing it.
motherfucker. Look at his avatar. Look at this motherfucker. Looking all suave. He looks like, you know what? Move over, Idris Elba. This should be the next James Bond.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, I got a story to tell y'all. Just like Ron Wills, I got a story to tell. There's a associate of mine I have here. He's got two boys.
Okay.
I gotta look at, I've met the boys a few times. Both his sons a couple times, but his youngest, a couple years ago, I remember he was like 5'7".
Mm-hmm.
This boy shot up to like 6'7" within 2 years.
Yeah, of course you think Trump's a horrible pick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so shocked, Anacetus. You think Trump's a
Anacetus.
horrible pick?
No, it is what it is.
Is
So
it
it's
just
like I
me
said
and
about.
Magic Johnson sound like a slave when he talking to people? I know I got to buy black men.
Get out of here. You
You
need to get
know,
out of
he
here.
like
You'll get us
what
in a
you.
heap of
So
trouble.
Trump. Hermaphrodite. That's his hermaphrodite, not his son or daughter. His hermaphrodite. I didn't know that. It's illegal. Yeah, everybody knew he got a gay daughter. You know what the sad part about it is? Magic and his son still trying to figure out who's the better ball handler.
Ooh.
Damn. You didn't get that. Fucking a lot of bitches. Oh, that's what they're calling it. You didn't get the joke, did you?
Anyway,
But I
joke I was
mean,
trying to
he is
get
a
at.
good ball handler. But here's the part. Let me ask you this question, right? Who's currently in power now?
Kamala Harris.
And here's my thing. What did Kamala do for black men? For black people, period. President
Not a
Trump,
goddamn
think
thing.
about it. How we had a black president beforehand, and it was Trump who extended the funding to HBCUs who were hemorrhaging money. So why didn't this so-called black person who went to Howard do the same for HBCUs?
Good question.
You do know there were more black businesses opened under Trump, right? Because he suspended the H-1 visas.
Charles, whoever that is
H-1B?
talking in the background, he's too loud.
That's his nephew and whatnot.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm just looking at this whole situation. Like, listen, one way or another, this country's collectively fucked. I mean, when was the last time you guys had this? I mean, all things considered, how are things gonna be? How are things gonna turn around? Is my question.
Mm-hmm.
Can they be turned around? I mean, like BGS said, the white population peaked in 2019. They foreshadowed this in 2015.
What did Trump do for black men and he didn't restore funds for HBCUs. He played with your okay.
Did he pledge or did he actually deliver?
Okay, where's your proof?
I just asked the question. Did he pledge or actually donate?
He set aside funds, if I'm not mistaken, for HBCUs.
And have they received those funds?
Yeah, as far as I know. Yeah, I gotta play this one for Charles. Charles, you still there?
He's still there. He's just dealing with the nephews.
I'm here.
Yeah, I gotta if it'll show up. Let's see, where is it at? I gotta play this knucklehead right here. I did a stream earlier this week and I called it self-hate blue no matter who.
The black male vote will not determine if Madam Vice President Kamala Harris will be the president. So to make her prove her blackness and all this, it's funny. They're completely forgetting that Madam Vice President Kamala Harris is also biracial. Black men are delusional. What would make you think that you could hold a vote hostage with these numbers? The highest life expectancy was observed for white females, who will live on average 80.5 years. The values for black females and white males are quite similar to each other, 76.1 years and 75.3 years, with black females having the slight advantage. Of the four race sex groups considered, black males have the shortest average longevity of 69 years. First to be taken out of the game completely, despite the fact that black boys.
Don't adjust your screen. That is a Negro saying this shit.
Boys and men account for just 6% of the population. So we'll split that between men and boys. 3% men, 3% boys that are unable to vote anyway. So let's take out the black men that are incarcerated, black men that cannot vote, black men that are going to vote for Kamala Harris anyway, the black men who wasn't going to vote anyway, and the black men who are going to do some goofy shit like vote for Kanye West. So that 3% quickly becomes a 1.
Wait a minute, he shouldn't talk about BGS like that. I'm just saying.
1.5%. Vice President Kamala Harris needs to demonstrate to this 1% of voters how black she is. They expect Madam Vice President Kamala Harris to jump through flaming hoops when the entire reason why the black male vote ain't worth a damn is because homicide has been the leading cause of death for black males aged 15 through 44 for more than half a century. Ops and blickies and slide and switch and drill and O-block and this and that and stupid ass shit. And that's never going to change anytime soon because it don't matter how many kids are born to single mothers, they're just going to kill them anyway. Gun violence is also the leading cause of death for black children. And these ain't no accidental shooting deaths. These bullets actually got names on them. Nearly 84% of gun deaths among black children are gun homicides. And in 2022, black children are more than 18 times more likely to be killed in a gun homicide than white children. Vice President Kamala Harris has the support of the Indian American community. Indian American.
No, she doesn't.
Americans tend to be a reliably democratic voting bloc with high turnout rates. Indian Americans like Vanita Gupta, and while she always voted, she never put in that work. But that all changed when Vice President Kamala Harris, the daughter of Indian and Jamaican immigrants, rose to the top of the Democratic ticket. This Indian woman right here, this one, got on her motherfucking Zoom. She got all the South Asian women. WhatsApp? She got them on WhatsApp. Many Indian Americans appear to share Gupta's newfound enthusiasm.
Now do you understand why I called it self-hate?
Okay. Can I play? Would you, AB? Would you have a problem for me to play devil's advocate here?
Okay.
He does have a point. I would say he might have a bit of a point. He might have a point. Keyword might. Because what is it? Which voting block is the determining factor here? Not black women. It's white women. Black men. Y'all as a voting bloc have been undercut many ways through mass incarceration and the homicide rates, and that's by design. Unless I'm wrong about that. But for him to talk about the Indian community, Indian American vote, The Indian community is not as big as you think it is. It's a smaller minority. It's more insignificant size-wise and
Enthusiasm
voter
and
block
urgency,
wise.
which is why this one lady right here raised over $275,000 to support Madam Vice President Kamala Harris. After all, they are the richest ethnic group in the United States, and 43% of them born in India and 41% of them born here have college degrees, while only 13% of all Americans do. Lowest life expectancy, lowest educational attainment, and lowest income. Against the group that has the highest educational attainment, the highest income.
She's still.
Oh,
there's a term.
Uh-oh.
Ladies and
What's going
gentlemen,
on, BGS?
please welcome the Black Pill Sith Lord himself,
Pretty much.
BGS Edmore.
Who is this knucklehead, man?
What is that knucklehead's name? The Chad something.
Let me see.
So why is he important?
He's not really. In fact,
and a high voter turnout rate. At this current moment, it doesn't even make sense to invest in earning the black male vote now or in the future. Based on where we are in the actions of...
by the way, shout out to Snowman, because when I was playing this for him earlier, he asked the simple question, and he played something one of your sound bites, and it wasn't the one you think it was.
Okay.
He played what is gay?
What is gay? Okay. I don't know if he's gay or not, but the thing is that it's the black male vote, because the margins are so slim that you have to court the black male vote. And in fact, you might have to court the black female vote because you lost 10% of that too.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I don't know what he's. I don't know how he does his calculus, man. So.
But actually, the only reason he's appointed is important is because I made a comment on his video. I said, "Okay, we're still voting. We're still not voting for her."
Chadwell Montague.
Yeah, and of course he responded. But this second thing, this is the reason why I'm making the video.
I said, "Do I need to show a chart?" Yeah, you need to show a chart, motherfucker. Pull it up. That's what I told him.
Yeah,
pull
this
up
comment
the
right.
chart.
This is comment right here is actually the reason I'm making the video. Did you miss the point of the video? No one needs your vote. You conquered bullet bag.
Okay, so don't tell me the black dude's a divester.
I was like, okay, so the point of I made a video. We're calling each other bullet bags now for Kamala Harris, really?
Yeah, why not? You know, she might call you a bullet bag. Who knows? Behind your back.
Yeah, that's true. I just played her so-called press conference for FEMA.
Yeah. I mean, what was the reason we should vote for this chick? Did he give?
Didn't really give a reason.
Okay.
His big point was, the black male vote is irrelevant. I was like, okay, why did they keep asking for it?
Yeah, they keep asking for it. It's influential because white men listen to us. That's why.
Yeah. In fact, I just played. There's a reason I have No Magic Johnson in the title. He just. In fact, I'll play it for you. Let's see. Let's get out of here. Go all the way back up here.
I got Bishop Bullwinkle on standby if you need him.
I mean, magic is magic, man. Magic is he's
not talk to other people, but this is important.
Mm-hmm.
Our black men. Now, there's a lot of black men in here, and I don't mean to, not talk to other people, but this is important.
That's in Michigan.
Our black men, we got to get them out to vote. That's number one.
That's number two. We're getting too old for this shit, Magic.
Kamala's opponent promised a lot of things last time to the black community that he did not deliver on.
Neither did Biden.
Yeah.
Nobody keeps campaign promises.
And we got to make sure we help black men understand that.
So what did Kamala Harris promise you?
Help black men understand. First, get out and vote, and then vote for the next president of the United States, Kamala Harris.
To quote Charlie
Yeah.
Murphy,
Why should you? The thing is, why should you vote for Kamala Harris?
I can't think of a legitimate answer. Can you?
No, I mean you have Democrats that can't stand Donald Trump and said that. In fact, I played it because Anton played it on MSNBC, and he was going off, man. He said they said that I said back in January 6th that Trump was an existential threat. Now I couldn't do this anymore. I would never, yada yada yada. Right? And 4 years later,
That's
he
what I was
changed his
about to
mind.
say. You know, things are bad
Yeah.
when never Trumpers come out and said,
Yeah.
despite January 6th,
Yeah.
Trump's
Yeah.
the better option. I was like,
A
oh,
better
shit.
option. Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, this is bad, man. My mouth dropped to the floor when that dude said that. I think it was on CNN.
Yeah. He was on CNN.
He said, nah, I was wrong. We need Trump back in office. This
Yeah.
is unacceptable.
Yeah, and he didn't mince any words either because the other white boy tried to. Then why we pushing Trump? Bring your ass up here and see. So I'll tell you why we pushing Trump. Get out the chat. I'll tell you why we push Trump. In other words, the last time you just got the belt, this time you're gonna get the sword. Bring your ass up
Ooh.
here.
By the way, y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the Cash App, support the show. Hit the Super Chat, support the show. The BGS tax is now in effect. Are you not entertained?
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, if the $750 they're trying to give the hurricane victims, while they just sent 175 million over to the Palestinians in Gaza. Okay, just today. Okay, that's not include
Lebanon or okay.
Yeah, no, that was to the Gazans.
Okay.
Yeah. The Lebanese, the Palestinians, they're not the ones in Lebanon. Okay, those are Lebanese. Okay.
Yeah, but I
We
heard
do have
that
the Palestinian
they
refugee
like
camps in there.
175 million
Go
to the for Palestinian relief in Gaza.
Okay.
Yeah, and not to mention the 650 billion dollars. Was it billion? No.
No,
Yeah.
it was million. It was million.
$650 million that they spent on FEMA, just FEMA, not just everybody else, just FEMA alone spent on relief for migrants. Okay, just this year. Just this year, but you ain't got no money for your own citizens that are victims of a hurricane. Are you fucking kidding me?
I asked this question earlier, BGS.
Hold on, wait a minute. But you know what their excuse is, right?
What?
Hold on, let me put it up. Their excuse is actually really simple.
Mm-hmm.
But the Republicans, oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, basically Jermaine left the building. Okay.
But no, that's really their excuse. Their excuse is the Republicans won't give us the funds. I'm like,
Well, how about the $8 billion you just sent to Israel?
yeah, well, not only that, how much did they spend on immigrants this year?
$650 million, yeah, just this year, and that's not including what they spent last year. And that's FEMA. That's just FEMA. Now we're not talking about. Not probably everybody else. You just talk about FEMA.
Yeah, FEMA spent $650 million on immigrants this year.
This year, that's FEMA. That's not even. That's not the rest of the federal government. That's just FEMA.
But their excuse is that money was allocated for migrants. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Let's stop my thing for this. Correct me if I'm wrong. FEMA is specifically designed for disaster relief.
For
right?
disasters, yes. Federal emergency, agency, yeah. Management agency, yeah. Not for migrants. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is what I asked earlier.
Let me finish my thought.
Okay.
So as a disaster relief organization by the government, taxpayer funded, you funded migrants housing, and you used that money that was meant for taxpayers who were displaced by disaster to fund migrants for housing, and we're supposed to
Yeah.
take you seriously?
You currently at work. Give me that. Get the fuck out of here at work, Anastasia. Anastasia, number
My
one,
ass
okay?
cheeks.
Number one, okay? Basically, the Biden administration and Kamala got caught lying, okay? About the Netanyahu and Israel, right? In front of your face, they said we're talking about a peace treaty and a ceasefire, right? To your face and behind your back, you go back and tell them that it's okay for him to escalate. How do you figure that, okay? We ain't talking about the FEMA. How you figure that you got $80 billion? You just sent what's his name? It sent
8 billion.
8 billion to Israel. You sent another 8 billion to Ukraine, but you ain't got no money for your people down there in Florida in the South over this hurricane. Okay, what's the excuse for that? What's the excuse for your double digit inflation? What's the excuse for the migrants coming over the border and basically taking your freaking money and using your resources and you're not being honest about it? Okay, what's the excuse about you lying about the goddamn immigration bill that you say is bipartisan and it was bipartisan because both the Democrats and the Republicans killed that bill.
Yep,
it wasn't Trump. Okay. I played the guy twice. That's the former immigration lawyer, okay, and former immigration judge. Said the exact same thing. You read the bill, you look at who voted up and down, and the bill was voted down, including by fucking Bernie Sanders, okay, that voted down the bill. They killed the bill in the Senate.
Not to mention that's
You're not defending it. That's how come you can't vote Kamala Harris and that regime in.
not to mention that the excuse they use that. Hold on, go ahead.
You say I'm not defending that. You asked me a goddamn question why we're not going to vote her in, okay? And why Trump's the better option. Do you need more? Because I got more.
Mm-hmm. And actually, the argument she's using for that bill is actually a very, very weak argument. She said we couldn't get the immigration bill passed because Trump. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. So you're the current sitting vice president.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Biden is the current president, and you're telling me a former president has more power than you do? Why would I vote for you?
Yeah. If the thing is, well, how come you couldn't get in your own party to actually vote for it? Because Trump has no power over the Democrats.
Sure doesn't.
And basically, everybody that put that bill together said even before it got to the floor, it's dead on arrival.
DOA.
Yeah, I just gave you why he's the better option. Okay, you need more. Okay, you need more.
Excuse me.
So if not those two, then who? Anacetus? Oh. No, I don't want. The thing is, Anacetus, shut the fuck up, man. You if you can't come up, man, just be quiet. We're not gonna read your text all day. If you can't come up, just be quiet. Go ahead. Just ignore him.
In the meantime, Otis, thank you for the cash app, $4.99. It says the majority of BM don't care what race
she is, yeah.
What race she is. They're just tired of being chastised because
they're not
voting for her
and her trash policies. The broad is awful.
The broad is awful.
Got to do some spell check though.
LAR movement asked that question.
Hooks on finances is always not the best thing. Okay.
Yeah. True. Yeah, actually, shout out to Dr. Dunbar because he talked about an AI tool I didn't know about called Grammarly.
Oh, yeah, Grammarly. I use Grammarly all the time.
Yeah, and I just downloaded it, and it's pretty helpful.
Yeah, Grammarly, or there's Pro Writing is the other one that I use. Okay.
Yeah, me and him had a good talk this morning on the stream. Artisan came up. We were talking AI and stuff like that. I'm talking about how I'm still using Google Copilot, and it's wonderful. It actually looks at your code you've already written and predicts what you're going to write if there's a certain sequence.
Okay. Yeah. Most good. I mean, most good. Say if it's learned your patterns, which AI is good at. If you repeat a lot of things, it will actually anticipate what you're getting ready to write next. If you see that on all your phones now, you type text, it anticipates what you're going to write next.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Sometimes it produces garbage, but that's part of the process.
That's how come they have humans. It's an aid. Okay, it's not the boss.
Trial and
it's not the
error.
boss.
That's how we mostly learn.
I mean, basically, Biden administration put you under wartime economy. And if you think about party, this isn't even not about party, because if that was about party, Dick Cheney would not be campaigning for.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Him and Liz.
Yeah, I think I didn't look at it, but I believe Liz and Kamala Harris did an event together.
They did. They did. And then you have RFK, who's basically a Democrat, campaigning with Joe Biden, with Trump. And also Gabbard, who's basically a Democrat.
Tulsi.
Yeah.
Tulsi Gabbard.
I wish I could have got
I
that.
thought she went
interview.
independent.
She did, but eventually she's really a Democrat. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
I mean, she was a Democratic congresswoman, about 6 years.
Yeah. Don't nobody say shit.
What's happening? I sure hate I'm late to class.
So what up, boy?
What's going on, man?
So wait a minute. So
what
wait
it
a
be
minute.
like,
BJ.
boy?
I'm not a YouTube Chuck. What's going on?
What's up? What's
Hold
up?
on.
Here. So what's up, here?
So what? Say what, Charles?
So you're okay. Back to that regularly scheduled program.
Now that's a southern thing, but if we say, "What's up, boy?"
Of course, you're gonna be like,
you see an old friend. You see when you see old friend, you put his, "What up, boy?" What you doing?
Me and BGS don't understand that jerk shit. What the fuck is that jerk shit? Me and BGS, we could have
You know, the first time I saw it, watching The Wire, okay, and he said, "You're." I said, "What the fuck is they saying?"
And BGS, I'm gonna tell you the truth. The whole reason why I was hooked on watching The Wire, they goddamn dialect. I was like, goddamn, is this how Chuck and them really talk up north? I'm like, goddamn, man.
Yeah.
It's different. It's not like Boston's accent. It's not like New York's accent. And it's nowhere. It's not even like Chicago's accent. Baltimore got their own fucking.
They got their own thing. Yeah, what they call it, Baltimore, not without the T's, Baltimore accent. Yeah.
BMO.
BMO. Yeah.
Yeah, BMO.
Yeah.
Shit. Oh, by the way, nice tux, Jesse. Jesse? That's a nice tux you got on.
Hey, what's up, Jesse?
Jesse?
I got a cousin in Louisiana. It's Jesse, and that's what they pronounce it. Jesse.
Yeah.
Don't let them get mad. Don't let one of the females get mad.
Why?
So wait a minute.
Oh, they will hack up their name, boy.
So wait a minute. I'm like,
Jesse knows what I'm talking about.
I'm like, I just have to ask, like, anybody enjoy, magic slavery talk? We gotta get black men important.
Oh, that's where he been, man. That's that Midwest Michigan shit, man. He been talking like that since he came out.
I know, but it's like the way he trying to convince black men to vote for this chick, man.
And he's gotten better, because you should have heard him when he first came to the Lakers. He's gotten a lot better.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I said, dude, we had to deal with Shannon Sharp when we had him in Baltimore.
Yeah, we used to have what they call magicisms, the way he pronounced stuff.
Magicisms. Like black men gotta come out there and they gotta vote for this woman because even though
Lansing, Michigan.
Yeah,
Is it Lansing or is it
he was
Flint?
Yeah.
No, it's from Lansing.
You up in Eastland?
Hold on, gentlemen.
State capital, right?
Gentlemen. Hold on, wait, gentlemen. Unfortunately, we got some more word salad to listen to today.
Oh no!
You did this interview 3 days ago.
How are you? Well, Madam Vice President, from where? California, Washington, everywhere. Nice to see you.
I'm in Washington, D.C. today.
How does she always sound like
Well,
she's
it's
drunk,
It's great
man?
to see you again. Thank you for doing this with me.
because she is.
Oh,
okay. God damn, she reminds me of somebody. She sound like one of those proper black women that's always kind of tipsy all the time.
Because they got that nervous with anxiety.
Okay,
the drinking problem.
Yeah, she sounds
like that. Let me shut up. I should have said that.
Well, I'm not saying. I mean, that might be the way she talks, but the thing is, I mean, when I hear her now, she almost sounds like she's been drinking or something.
She probably has.
About
She
five
probably
questions
has,
from
like,
folks in
has a couple
Pittsburgh, but I
shots before
want
she
to ask
goes
you a
in.
question. First of all, given what's happened in the Mideast right now, how far would the U.S.
She's like, oh shit.
government go to
They're not going to
protect
give him
the
a hard
state of
questions.
Israel? U.S. troops on air, in the air, on sea, or on land?
So let me start by saying that today I was with the president in the Situation Room for several hours, along with members of our national security team. And I'm pleased to report that based on everything we know as of this moment, our position, which is to support Israel in its right to defend itself, and Israel's ability to defend itself today was quite successful. And we must all agree that it is in the best interest of the United States.
Wait a minute. What question did he ask again?
In other words, how far will you go to protect Israel? That's what he's trying to say.
Oh, okay, okay.
So you're going to
Our
send
allies,
troops? You're going to send in
Israel,
more weapons? How far
to-
will you go?
Okay.
Ensure that Iran not have the ability to do what it was attempting to do today. It is in American interest to make sure that we take seriously the threat Iran it poses not only to our-
Hold on. Go ahead.
I have a serious question I wanted to ask you, BGS. Now, look, I do not want you to get angry at me. Please don't. Because, I smoke weed. I smoke a lot of it now.
Okay, yes. I had a nap, so I'm all right. So go ahead.
Okay. All right. With that being said, one more time for the slow and dumb. Let's include me on this one because I admit. What is our vested interest in wanting to be over there in Israel again? I just want to know.
Okay.
To the Middle East.
It is a foothold, but the biggest my reading of the whole thing, right, is everything was fine until Saudi Arabia switched sides and joined the BRICS. And then right after that, maybe a couple of months after that, then you had October 7th. And October 7th was the reason for them to start this whole conflagration.
Speaking of which,
So they're trying to start a wider war. That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, Louis reminded me that that anniversary is coming up on Monday.
October 7th, yeah.
But let's continue.
Interest to our personnel and into stability in that region, both Iran and Iran-backed terrorists. And we will be unwavering. I will be unwavering in my commitment to Israel's ability to defend itself and to take seriously the need to deal with Iran in terms of the threat that it poses to U.S. interests, to our allies, and to stability in the region.
So you don't foresee the need for American forces to get into combat?
No, absolutely not.
Let me turn to another issue that's nationwide, everybody's thinking about, and that's in a couple hours. There's going to be a debate involving your vice presidential running mate, and you've got some experience with vice presidential debates. What have you recommended to Governor Walz in this debate?
I've just asked him to be himself. I hope that your viewers get a chance to know Tim Walz if you don't already. Tim Walz was a teacher, a football coach. He is a governor of a state that is actually reported to be the 6th best in the country for doing business. And he's just a good guy. He's a dad. He's a husband. He's a community member. He served in the National Guard. And I think that your viewers,
got a mail order by.
if you watch the debate, what you're going to see is a real contrast between two individuals. And I think what you're going to see in Tim Walz is the guy on the stage who really has your best interest in mind and has a sense of what you're going through and a desire to help you. And that's one of the things that I think is the strength of Tim Walz and why he's going to do really well tonight.
Well, Madam Vice President, I don't have to tell you how important natural gas is to this region. It's how we heat our homes and our factories in this region. It's very plentiful and cheaper than oil. And we extract natural gas through fracking. So I wanted to ask you, there's a political ad on TV from a 2019 Climate Hall town meeting that you had, in which you basically said, quote, "There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking," unquote. The ad claims that if you're elected president, you will ban fracking and you will cost Pennsylvania over 300,000 jobs. Have you changed your view on fracking? And if so, why?
So let me start by saying that ad, as you described it, is absolutely a mischaracterization that I think is intended to make people afraid of my presidency. Let me be absolutely clear, as I've been when I said it back in 2020. I will not ban fracking. I did not.
You lying motherfucker.
She won't because they have to pump out oil, especially now, especially since the Ukraine thing, because a lot of that oil has to be shipped over to Europe to keep prices down.
Yeah.
So she won't. Go ahead.
Now, despite the fact I don't have Snowman here to play it, I had the man himself here to say it, but that is some
That's some
bullshit.
bullshit. Yeah. Well, she's not gonna ban fracking, so that is correct.
As vice president, in fact, I cast the tie-breaking vote to open up more fracking leases.
She did. Yeah.
And my perspective on this is grounded in a number of things, including that we don't have to ban fracking to do the work that we can do to also invest in a clean energy economy. So that's where I stand, period. As president of the United States, I will not ban fracking. I did not as vice president of the United States. And frankly, I think some of those ads are misleading intentionally to suggest to folks that they should be afraid.
But you
Because
said
on
it.
the other side, what you've got in my opponent is somebody who could and has not really done much about
she did
lifting
say
up
it.
the middle class. My perspective on this issue is that I'm going to bring jobs back to rural communities. I'm going to make sure that we invest in those communities that have done the kind of work that you have in mind when we talk about Pittsburgh, when we talk about the greater aspect of Pennsylvania. And I'm going to keep doing that work.
Let me move to another issue that's important to Pittsburgh. Both you and former President Trump have made it quite clear.
She do look drunk, man.
What I'm saying, I can't speak to it. What I'm saying is, every time I hear her, she sounds drunk. I don't know. I just get that impression. It might be just the way I'm hearing it.
Said that either.
Yeah.
That under your presidencies, a foreign steel company like Japan's Nippon Steel will not be allowed to purchase U.S. steel. But U.S. Steel tells us that if you block the sale and stop the promised investment from Nippon, it may shut down the blast furnaces in our area and even move its headquarters from Pittsburgh. So how will you block Nippon but keep our steel jobs right here?
So let me tell you where I'm coming from. I feel very strongly that U.S. Steel needs to remain a U.S. company and that the people working there need to be American workers. And I think that is also why I am proud and I do have the support of the Steelworkers Union, because I just think that when you think about it in terms of the
union or the union bosses?
Union mafia.
historic American industry, not to mention what it means for the workforce and the economy of Pittsburgh, of Pennsylvania, but also from a national security perspective, it is important that we have U.S. manufacturing of U.S. steel. And listen, I've been vice president now for 4 years. I've traveled around the world. I start my day every day being briefed on hotspots around the world and threats to our national security. When I think about the importance of supporting U.S. workers and U.S. steel, it is through the lens of not only what we should do to protect that workforce, but what we should do to protect U.S. and American interests.
But if you block this foreign acquisition, how can you guarantee that there will be support? Will it come from the federal government to make sure that these furnaces stay open and the jobs are kept here in Pittsburgh?
It is my priority to keep the jobs in Pittsburgh, understanding again that the folks who are doing that work are doing hard work, good work. It is part of not only a tradition of American industry to do that work, but it is part of what we need to invest in the future.
Two more quick questions, Madam Vice President. Former President Trump says that you've had 4 years as vice president to do all the things you've promised in the campaign, but haven't done it.
Yes. Correct me if I'm wrong, BGS. Who had the House and the Senate the first 2 years? All right, the Democrats.
Is he right? Or did President Biden not give you or limit it in some way your role as vice president?
So let's start with this. I think that the former president is really becoming quite desperate and is really been offering a lot of misstatements and misinformation. And perhaps it's because he wants to distract from the fact that he has offered no plan for the American people. I have talked about this before. I invite you to go to his rallies. And what you'll hear about full time is him talking about himself and his personal grievances. But what you won't hear him talking about is you and the needs that you have as a working person, as a family person. My plan is about building an opportunity economy where I'm going to give first-time homebuyers a $25,000 down payment assistance so they can get their foot in the door to be able to be a homeowner. My plan is about $6,000 tax deduction for middle-class families for the
first year. What good is that going to do for people who have to pay $3,000 plus a month for child care?
She's getting better at her delivery, though. That's for sure.
First year of their child's life to help them buy a crib or a car seat.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
just about
sure.
to say, she's doing that Obama voice inflection right now.
Yeah,
My
she's
plan is
practicing
about
it
getting a
enough.
$50,000 tax deduction to start up businesses, to our small businesses, knowing that they are part of the backbone of America's economy. Those are my plans. And I think that unfortunately, what we've got on the other side is someone who wants to distract from the fact that his plan is about giving billionaires and big corporations a tax break like he did the last time and doing that again.
But you would acknowledge that as vice president, you can't do the things that you can do as president.
Well, absolutely. There's only one president in the United States. But I have been very excited to spend time in Pittsburgh and in Pennsylvania. I was just in Pittsburgh actually talking about my economic plan, but to spend time in Pittsburgh and in the rest of the state talking with folks about what I intend to do as president. And I am so honored and humbled to have received a lot of the support from the folks in that beautiful city of Pittsburgh and around the state, because I believe that what I'm talking about in terms of lifting up American workers and American families is something people want to know that their president will do.
Well, Madam Vice President, we're always happy to have you in Pittsburgh. I've got a couple more questions, but let's hold it because I'd love to get together with you in person rather than through this internet system. Can we do it?
Let's try and do that. I would like that.
Great
I would
to be with
definitely
you.
like that. And I'll be back in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Well, yeah, but that's a lot better than she was even 2 weeks ago. Okay, she's much more direct. She didn't tell the story about her mother and her. And her sister growing up and all that kind of stuff. She didn't give us a song and dance. She's much more direct. Yeah. Well, yeah, she does. Yeah.
Knock that shit off. That's what they did. They told her knock it off. That shit's getting lame, old, and American public tired of hearing.
It's because there was a running joke about her giving the same story or the same speech in every interview. Yeah. So they see she did. So she can clean it up. But she actually gave her a much better presentation, much more direct. So I think they really honed in on that. So bravo for her.
Yeah.
She managed the whole frame.
This is her at the FEMA event earlier today.
Or maybe she only drank one shot before she came up.
Good afternoon.
She just had one swig.
Thank you for your work.
For the glass.
Thank you for your work. Thank you. Good to see you again.
Hi, I'm Esmeralda Mayor of Asheville.
Oh, yes, of course, Mayor. It's good to talk to you.
Yes, it was good to talk with you.
I'm looking forward to our conversation. Yes. Thank you. Thank you again, Mayor. Thank you, Governor.
Hey, is she the shortest thing in the room?
She's like what, 5'5"?
I don't think she's that tall.
Shorter?
Man, they're really propping her up.
You talking about PMA?
Yeah.
And that's another thing. I don't think the American public live it down and live themselves down knowing for a fact. You possibly have a chance to elect the first female president. She isn't even over 6 foot. We used to president tall, strong, dominating. No.
I mean, the closest you probably would have came is Michelle Obama.
Yeah, she's 5'4".
Yeah.
Yeah, she's short.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she's a little bit on the short side.
Kamala Harris, Chief, thank you so very much. General, thank you. Congresswoman, thank you. Thank you.
I don't know why they know who you are. I don't know why you're introducing yourself.
In her defense, BGS, I always heard the shortest women make the most
We are so glad to see you and welcome you once again to North Carolina.
Hey, if they're on their back.
An unprecedented disaster for our state. But what you are seeing,
Tall women make you more money.
you, the Biden Harris administration, state and local officials, volunteers, private organizations, this has been a massive, unprecedented response. We are deeply grateful for the federal resources that we have. FEMA has been on the ground with us since the very beginning of this. So we look forward to briefing and giving you details about the significant progress that's happening and all that we have to do. Unfortunately, we have 68 people who lost their lives, but people are still working hard in search and rescue to save people and to surge resources into Western North Carolina. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Governor. And I thank you all, everyone here. I've talked with many of you within actually hours and certainly days of Helene hitting
this beautiful state. And I thank you all for the work you've been doing around the clock. Administrator, you and I have talked many, many times, and your team on the ground are just doing extraordinary work. But the work that's happening here that is so positively impacting so many people is really an example of the best we can do when we bring resources together at the federal, state, and local level.
$750 is the best you could do, and people aren't even qualifying for it.
Even not qualifying for it. That's what I'm hearing.
So random fact: James Madison was 5'4".
Okay.
He was. How long ago though?
I was back in the beginning of the 19th century.
Yeah, when the average height of a man was 5'5".
And tap into the kind of collegiality that produces results.
How tall was Lincoln? Because they said he was one of the taller presidents at the time. What he like 6'3"?
6'4".
6'4". Okay.
And this is the work that you all have been doing. For the folks who are local, I also know what this means for each of you as a leader, to be a leader at a time that your own homes, your families, your friends, people you know, your community has been directly hit. For the folks that work in your various divisions and offices, I know that they've been showing up at a moment of need for others, even when their own families and their own homes have been directly impacted. I think that these moments of crisis bring out some of the best of who we can be and who we are. I've been seeing and hearing the stories from here in North Carolina about strangers who are helping each other out, giving people assistance in every way that they need, including shelter, food, and friendship and fellowship. And so I thank everyone for all the work that they've been doing, those who are in the room and those who are out there right now working around the clock. And I'm also here because I wanted to make an announcement that yesterday we added Mecklenburg County to the major disaster declaration. So that means that we're going to be getting substantial resources in to help folks, and in particular to help them now be able to apply for federal assistance for a range of things that will be including home repair, what folks need in terms of generators or even just compensation for the generators that they've had to buy, the kind of shelter that they've had to seek, including hotels. And federal assistance for these issues is, I know, extremely important because a lot of folks don't save for these kinds of emergencies, and when they hit, it takes a real drain on their resources and ability to take care of themselves and their family.
They can't
but again,
save.
I thank everybody here. I'm looking forward to our briefing. And I will say that also we are looking forward to working with our congressional partners. And Congresswoman, you've been a great leader to work with your colleagues, as you always do, so that we can get Congress to also issue the resources that FEMA will need to be an active and resourced federal partner with all of you on the ground at the state and local level. And with that, let's start our briefing.
All right.
Yeah, they don't go into the briefing. This is only 5
By the
minutes.
way, I mentioned this earlier to AB when we were watching this clip. If you could go back to that one individual who is head of FEMA, who's right there at the table with them, opposite of the mayor. I say opposite of the governor.
What about him?
No, you saw where the governor was talking. That was right. That was Roy Cooper.
Okay.
But on the opposite end is that one with the top of the glasses.
Okay.
Hold on.
So
That one right there. Pause. That's
what-
head of FEMA. Deanne Criswell's her name.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Okay.
blonde hair
Mention
lady.
that.
Okay, and the point is,
She's the head of FEMA, I guess.
yes, they had a
Head of
FEMA.
FEMA. Just one.
Okay,
Wanted to mention
head of
that
FEMA
earlier.
supposed to be there. If the
Yeah,
VP,
it's supposed to be there.
the next president is coming there, yeah, head of FEMA supposed to be there.
Ooh. Thank you, Chief Rocker, for the $50 super sticker.
Oh, okay, BGS tax, I guess. So,
Yeah, hit my Cash App. I don't think I've gotten any Cash Apps yet.
Boy, I'm over here happy and 60 with a bag of dicks on church and first Sunday.
damn, why is that? Why is that, man?
I just, I was up all this morning watching most of the games. I fell asleep in the afternoon after watching my grandbaby. So I woke up while ago and I'm like, let me check these stats and let me check these scores. Oh, Alabama just got their asses handed to them. Tennessee got their asses handed to them.
Alabama laid the egg.
But they thought they were slick. Texas ain't lost yet. Texas had poll voted them 2.5 weeks ago and been number one. We had a week off. They barely beat Georgia, and mind you, Georgia got beat by them. So they poll voted back to number one, thinking, oh, everything gonna be hunky dory for Alabama. Oh no! Just like 3 weeks ago, Kentucky damn near beat Georgia, and I'm up here saying, wait a minute, the SEC is not as tough as it used to be. And now you don't let Texas and Oklahoma come up in here, and they done rejuvenated Arkansas. Arkansas just kicked Tennessee's ass. The SEC don't know what they just did by letting some real Southern Texas teams come up in here. And A&M is on a mission again, too. They just whooped the shit out of somebody. Whooped the shit out of Missouri 41-20. The SEC is in trouble for real. They thought they were slick. They thought that let's get all this revenue. Let's make the SEC the number one power in the nation. But y'all done fucked around and let the wrong.
The portal is basically shaking up the whole balance of power.
And the portal made it really, really tough on. That's why Saban said, "I'm out of here. I can't do this no more."
Yeah,
he knew he couldn't.
The portal is shaking things up. That's really what's going on right now. That's how come Deion jumped into it, because he saw an opportunity.
Yeah, and the way stuff is looking right now, I kind of feel bad for Colorado because they're gonna lose Deion. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, mark it down. They're gonna lose Deion. His alma mater and Florida are doing so bad right now. Both of them two schools go, because he's a native Floridian, mind you. They gonna come knocking on his door with truckload. Brinks. They go back up to Brinks truck. Yes, absolutely. Because you want to know why? They need him right now. And Florida teams, those two Florida teams are not used to losing like this and being middle of the row ass programs. They're not gonna stand for that. So guess what? I don't care how much money Colorado has generated by getting him there. They're not going to have enough money to keep him there. Period.
Okay.
Time will tell.
Yeah.
And he's winning. He ain't lost yet, and he had a bye this week. So just think if he runs the table with just one loss and make it to the playoff, it's over. He's going to be the biggest commodity in the nation, period.
Okay.
Hey, all I have to say about Jackson, Mississippi is, what's up, boss? You believe now? You believe now? No.
Well, they knew, but basically, I was trying to tell DC is that about the HBCUs being gynocratic, right? They're doing the same thing that the WNBA is doing with Caitlin Clark. Yeah,
Caitlin Clark.
They don't care about money, man. They don't care about money and success. They care about attention and status. That's what they care about.
As long as the NBA is footing the bill.
Yeah, and they didn't want Deion coming in with all them stars and stuff that's taking all their shine away. That's all it was. So they undermined him, so he left.
Jackson, he found a better place to go too.
To what?
I said, and it was still funny with the money.
He's still fumbling with the money. Yeah, they wanted to drive him out. Basically, they knew he would leave.
Mm-hmm.
They knew they didn't even try to keep him. Now the whole league could have come together to keep Deion Sanders if they really wanted, because he brought more money into the league, but they didn't, because they like their own little fiefdom, and they don't like all this attention because you can't do what you want to do. Same thing with WNBA. They don't like they want the money that the fans bring, but they don't want this attention, because all that attention, that means they got to change the way they do shit.
BGS is absolutely right. Deion had to leave Jackson State. He had to go for the simple fact he had literally brought so much attention to the SWAC and black athletic sports that guess what? All the dirt that they've been doing in the athletic departments, hiding money, this, that, and the third, not reporting their revenues correctly, this, that, and the third. It was going to catch up with him. He literally exposed Jackson State. It was a 65,000 seat stadium that stayed full his 2.5 years while he was there. If you only reporting that you bringing in 23,000 per game, that's some bullshit.
Yeah,
that math will never math.
Yeah.
That's what I say. His boss had to step down over there.
Yeah. I mean, that's not the first time. That's the only thing I don't like about the HBCUs. You're supposed to be there. You guys are supposed to be extra clean is because you're trying to teach black kids, and we're already under fire like that. But you guys, you get women over there, and they get their
Knuckleheads.
little fiefdom and start stealing money and shit like that, and not doing what you need to do for the kids, and then start crying. Okay.
Don't
So
talk about the black community like that. Let me shut up.
it was the kind of it. You know what? After reading about Polly Murray and see what black women did to us, did stab black men in the back and then blame that shit on us, man. I'm done with them. I really am.
Yeah.
You literally can't put shit past them, BGS. After
You
that
can't.
point,
Yeah.
and like you said, after reading that book and several other books, Dollars of the Trade,
Yeah.
and this, that, and the third, man,
Yeah.
and after the 60, 61, 62, 63 years, and how they literally was turning their backs on us for what they thought in their mind was a better day, a new way. Oh no, I have nothing for them.
Yeah,
Absolutely none.
because as far as because if Kamala Harris is in front of me, first thing I would ask is about the House bill that's still sitting there in committee that hasn't come to the floor about just not anything to do with black men and boys, but it's a study about the plight of black men and boys in America, right? If you really care about black men and you care about black men and boys in the black community, how come you don't actually fund that study? Because you fund everything else, okay? You fund migrants coming in, fucking in here, okay? You fund billions of dollars to start wars all over the world, but you can't make a fund just a study about the plight of your own men, okay? Fuck out of here. That's the first thing I want to tell you. So basically, you don't care about the black male vote, okay? Neither you or your sister, because you got all those black female congressmen that won't even bring it up, okay? Now, I don't care whether you can pass it or not. You should at least bring it up. Should be, every black woman on the floor, every black congressman on the floor should be bringing up that goddamn bill about just studying about black men and boys, but they don't. You better be glad I'm not fucking Congress, because I'd be once a week I'd be bringing it up to the floor. Okay.
Oh no, BGS. That's
Before I
too
forget,
much like
what you was talking about?
I said what?
I said before I forget, what book were you talking about that you read about?
I read about Polly Murray. Okay.
Yeah.
I forget the name. It's something about song, something like that. But the thing is, it's her autobiography that she did. But also, there's a paper. Look up Jane Crow, okay? Because that's her thing. Jane Crow. In other words, the two crow. She talks about the two crows, Jim Crow and Jane Crow. Jim Crow is racism and prejudice against black people, and basically Jane Crow is prejudice against black women. What black men actually inhibit on black women. Okay, so that's where this intersectionality shit came from. Okay, and I already played the part where she said that it was better to actually she said the black community is too small to effect change, so it's better to actually link hands with white women, with white feminists, because they would change the system, right? Which never happened. Yeah, no, I know. They gave it to the Gucci boots. Okay.
Yeah, that was the lady you played on. She was on one of those programs in the 70s, right?
Yeah. She said it right there. And basically, and if you go back and you start reading her writings, which now it's easier to find than it was, but she's been saying this for years, man, about white men and the powerlessness of black men, and basically how black women in the mid 40s, she was saying that black women are actually in revolt from their men. She was black women actually radicalized back in the 40s. It didn't just start in the 60s. And basically Jane Crow was what white women used to actually get sex into the Civil Rights Bill, because it wasn't supposed to be there. And
I said it before, and I said it again.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. So what?
I said it before, and I say it again. You was right when you said when they introduced that word, 3 letters, one word, sex, and that equation fucked us all up. And like I said, if they ever take that out, the playing field will level for us as men, period. I'm not talking about just white men and black men, period. And when that happens, all hell's gonna break loose, because they're gonna be crying. Why are you taking away our bill? Look here, we gave you 60 plus years. Only thing you wanted was office jobs, cushy jobs. You never tried to go apply for anything physical, outdoors, or anything that you can use life or limbs. So fuck.
In other words, you got all this power. You got the white women they didn't give you crumbs. They gave you a big old slice. Okay. You got all this stuff. How did you make your families and your community better? The answer is no. Okay. And all you do when it comes up, oh, well, what did the men do? Well, goddamn it, you snatched the whole loaf from us, okay, and gave it to the white girls, and then said, what did we do? Okay, the disingenuous motherfuckers. Anyway, let me get off my soapbox.
Yeah, don't get me started. Last week at my church, they had the typical politician come in, black lady running for
What
senate.
happened?
I call it the bullshit speech that they give at churches.
Okay.
The typical bullshit. I'm a woman. Blah blah blah. We need you to come out and vote. Blah blah blah.
Okay.
Vote for Kamala Harris. Blah blah blah.
Okay.
I
All
didn't
right.
say anything. I was like, okay.
You're in church. You know you can't say nothing.
Yeah, I shook her hand. Yeah,
But you could have got up and walked out on that. You didn't have to sit there.
Now, you're a member of the church, right?
Yep.
Okay. He had to sit there.
Oh,
Yeah. Then my
good
pastor
thing I
got up,
don't remember churches no more.
then my pastor got up and said we need to pray that Kamala Harris gets in. I was like, oh Lord.
All you can do is roll your eyes.
Hold on, your pastor said that.
Yeah.
He literally spokesman campaigning stuff speeching for
You got to remember the church is gynocracy central. Of course he did.
Yeah.
Him and Magic.
Yeah, I didn't say anything. I just kind of kept my peace and just walked out. It's like, okay, you know where you're at. You know this, like you said, it's kind of crack central, so there's not much you can do about it.
It's like being at the cookout and the women are cooking. Okay. You can't say that.
No, BJS. I got one better. That nigga decided to go to church last Sunday, and he walked in behind enemy lines and didn't know it.
He knew it. No, he knew what was walking behind.
Yeah. I knew what I was walking into.
Mhm.
I let some steam off on Facebook, so it is what it is. I'm like, and I said this, and I'm gonna leave it up. I wish the black church would stop kissing the Democrat Party's ass.
One hand washes the other. One hand washes the other.
Yeah, I know. But it came out, man.
The one can dream. It is what it is. And the thing is, my thing is, if the American people wouldn't have voted this chicken into office, and God bless them.
Yeah. Let them fuck around and find out.
Hey, it is what it is.
Say, BGS, I know I was, in and out listening to the national news in the middle of this weekend. I heard one of them boys decided to fire a rocket at somebody else over there. And ever since it went down, I mean, how these people reacting? Was there like a provocational strike?
Talking about rocket? Talking about Iran firing the missiles into Israel?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's exactly what I'm talking about. Was they trying to provoke us to jump in and do something?
Basically, okay, Israel assassinated a whole bunch of people. She had a pager attack. They had the invasion of Lebanon, and basically killed like 1,000 people in Beirut. And Hezbollah said, okay, if Hezbollah and the Houthis, and plus they blew up that port in Yemen, right? And the Houthis in Lebanon said, if you're not willing to come in and help us out or help us fight, you want to take these punches, we got to rethink our alliances because you're not helping. Okay, so I knew if they said that 2 days later, then you saw 100 and some people said 108 or 180 missiles fired into Israel
from Tehran.
Yeah, it was an interesting strategy because they shot. They shot all different types of missiles. So missiles that they knew could be.
No. Those missiles couldn't be brought down. The first ones, the old technology in drones, that could be shot down. These you couldn't. 80% of those got through. At least 80%. But they targeted military structures. Okay. So
right,
they're trying to say that it was defeated. No, 80% of those missiles got through. In fact, if you Andre Urinev actually went over it in Smoothie X12. Go to his channel because he's an expert. Because he used to do this for a living before he retired from the military. That was his thing, ballistic missiles. So he told you that the ballistic missiles that they fired, the Iron Dome didn't have the capability of bringing them down because they're going too fast.
Yeah, I'm about to say it. I know they shot some stuff that could be stopped by Iron Dome.
No, they didn't.
Let me finish.
Okay,
I keep trying to get it out.
Okay.
I said they shot
But
some
you're wrong.
stuff
But
that some stuff that could be stopped by Iron Dome, but most of the missiles were able to get through. They had different types of missiles. Even they had the Shabab 3s. They had the one that you mentioned. They even had some hypersonic missiles that they fired off.
Gentlemen, first, thank you, Yako, for the Cash App. Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the Cash App, support the show, hit the Super Chat, support the show. Believe it or not, we have an old man sighting.
Who's the old man?
Lord.
Oh, yeah, Biden, yeah.
Yeah, he did his first
He did say get off my lawn at the end, though.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I want to watch it, because I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's see here.
My name's Joe Biden. Welcome to the swimming pool. Hey, look, folks, good afternoon. The past 2 days we've gotten some very good news about the American economy. Just yesterday, shipping carriers, after some discussion, an International Longshoremen Union came to an agreement to keep the ports in the East Coast and the Gulf ports open. We averted what could have become a major crisis for the country, and a tentative agreement, which includes record wage increases for dock workers and shows the importance of collective bargaining and represents, I think, critical progress toward a strong contract. I especially want to thank the carriers, the port operators, and the Longshoremen's Union for reaching this agreement at a time when the nation has experienced such terrible devastation from Hurricane Helene. It was truly a service to the American people for all these parties to come together to respond to our request to keep ports open. I was determined to avert a crisis at this moment because it's a critical moment. If we didn't do this now, we'd have a real problem. I also want to thank my White House team for the work they worked around the clock to bring the parties together. But today, we got more incredible news. Although the strength of the American economy it's about the strength of the American economy. New jobs report, as you all know, you've been reporting, created 250,000 jobs in September.
Do you believe that number?
Yeah, I believe it. I mean,
okay.
It depends on how they count the numbers. Okay, most of them probably part-time jobs.
Was for 150,000 jobs in September, which far exceeded that number. Not only the previous 2 months the previous 2 months was revised up 75,000 jobs. And from the very beginning, we were told time and again that the policies we were pursuing, we'd put forward weren't going to work, make things worse, including some of the other team are still saying they're going to make things worse. But we've proven them wrong. You know, we've told our we were told our American rescue plan was too big and it would crowd out private investment. We proved them wrong. We vaccinated the nation and got immediate economic relief to people in need. When I came to office determined to end trickle-down economics and grow the economy from the middle out and the bottom up. I know you're tired of hearing me say that over and over again, but that was the policy. That remains the policy. Because when you do that, everyone does well. The middle class grows, the nation's stronger. And the nation's stronger when there's a strong union movement as well. We were told.
Yeah, it's not trickle-down economics anymore. It's shit on you economics.
The lie to me economy. That's what it's become.
And I'm actually going to use a dialysis analogy. Fortunately, this hasn't happened to me yet. But one of the things you lose is your ability to urinate.
Yeah.
And right now, if you ask me, this country is suffering from kidney failure. Because
pretty much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, hold on, wait a minute. Let me finish. You use your ability to use your ability to urinate. You do not lose your ability to shit.
Yeah.
And I've always considered trickle down economics, piss on you economics.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's piss on you economics.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's always been.
Told it wouldn't work, but I was also determined to do what was ignored for much too long. Presidents have been authorized since the 30s to be able to spend the money given by Congress to spend the money on hiring American workers and using American product where they're available. And that's what we did. We were told that was going to be a big problem. But all the money I was authorized to spend by the Congress has gone to gone to hiring American workers and using American products. We were told it wasn't going to be. We were told that was going to be a big problem, but it's working. We're also told that our historic laws to invest in America and all Americans would crowd out private sector investment. Well, that was proven wrong too. We've attracted nearly $1 trillion since we come to office in private sector investment from domestic and foreign companies investing in America, and not the stuff of shipping jobs overseas for cheaper labor and bringing back a product to America. We're building it here and sending it overseas. And look at the results across the board. Unemployment is down 4.1.
What is it, Jesse?
Man, somebody get this man out of office, please. Goddamn.
Oh, he's going.
He
Slowly but
melting
surely.
down, bro. Like it's embarrassing at this point. Like,
he did okay so far. You know, I don't expect much from the old man.
It's a whole lot better than he has done. Yeah.
1%. And every month that Vice President Harris and I have been in office, we've created jobs every single month. The nation has now created 16 million jobs since I've come to office, more jobs created in a single presidential term than any time in American history. Our GDP shows our economy grew at 10%.
He sounds more concise than Kamala does, though.
Unemployment reached the lowest level in 50 years.
And BGS, it's still a fantasy of mine. Can you imagine if he had stayed in and Kamala had to go up against JD Vance?
No. JD Vance would probably die of laughter.
Everybody want to hear about your dirty dreams, AB? You nasty.
That would have been embarrassing as hell because that's the motherfucker they really didn't want to run wild like Hulkamania. JD Vance.
He's the only thing is he doesn't have enough seasoning behind him. I think that's the only problem.
I think if Trump gets elected, he runs 2028.
Yeah.
Who the fuck the Democrats got?
They're probably going to run Gavin Newsom or a couple of other people, but it'll probably be Gavin Newsom.
That's going to be that's going to be a long day.
Gavin Newsom is pretty smooth, so
he does look like a fucking snake oil car.
He does. Yeah. He's the kind of guys who would actually sell you bonds on Wall Street, okay?
Without massive job losses.
Another Willie Brown acolyte.
Yeah, he is.
Once again, outside experts were wrong. Inflation has come down. Wages have gone up faster than prices. Interest rates are down. Record 19 million new business applications have been filed for. The stock market continues to reach new heights. We've got more work to do, though. Keep getting prices down, like more affordable housing, extending what I've done for seniors and lowering prescription drug costs by letting Medicare negotiate the prices, make sure that's available to everyone. And by the way, what we've done so far, just when we brought down the prices for seniors under Medicare, it saved the taxpayers billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. Saved the taxpayers billions of dollars. That's important to note because they don't have to pay the exorbitant and irrational prices that these companies are charging. The simple fact is we've gone from economy crisis to literally having the strongest economy in the world. And but we've got more work to do. We've got more work to do to deal with the things I've just mentioned, and we're going to have.
No, to the old man's credit, even in this state, he's doing better than Kamala.
Yeah.
Have to deal with unforeseen cost of what this hurricane is going to cost. It's going to cost a lot of money, and I'm going to probably have to ask the Congress before we leave for more money to deal with some of those problems. But that remains to be seen. I'll take a few questions before I turn it over to. You pick up.
Okay. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Josh. Thanks again for doing this, Mr. President. 2 questions. The first, Florida Senator Marco Rubio described today's jobs report as having fake numbers. What do you make of that? And how worried are you that many Americans are hearing that the jobs numbers aren't real?
Look, I'm going to be very careful here. If you notice, anything the MAGA Republicans don't like, they call fake. Anything. The job numbers are what the job numbers are. They're real. They're sincere. They're what we are. And by the way, just look at how the EU talks about us, how they like to have an economy like ours. Let's talk about the rest of the world. So
that's a lie.
Hold on, wait a minute. So BGS, they don't want universal health care? Okay, I'll believe that when I see it.
Yeah, that is a lie. That's not true.
Well,
bullshit.
And then secondly, could you clarify some of your comments yesterday with regard to strikes on Iranian oil facilities? What did you mean by them, given some of the reactions we're seeing in the market?
Look, the Israelis have not concluded what they're going to do in terms of a strike. That's under discussion. I think if I were in their shoes, I'd be thinking about other alternatives than striking oil fields.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Thank you, Kareem. Thank you so much, Mr. President, for being here. This week, Senator Chris Murphy said it's certainly a possibility that the Israeli government is not going to sign any diplomatic agreement prior to the election, which is what you have been calling for so long, potentially to try.
You think they'll do it?
So what?
You think they'll sign an agreement before the election?
No.
Okay.
To influence the result. Do you agree? Do you have any worries that Netanyahu?
Say that again.
An agreement for what, Nathan?
That ceasefire.
Israel
Yeah.
or Ukraine?
Israel. Yes.
Maybe trying to
Israel. Hell no.
influence the election, and that's why he has
Trump.
not agreed
I mean,
to a diplomatic
Putin said there
solution.
won't be no ceasefire.
No
So
administration has helped Israel more than I have. None. And I think Bibi should remember that. And whether he's trying to influence the election or not, I don't know, but I'm not counting on that.
You've said many times recently that you want to speak to him, that you plan
No, I
to.
didn't say plan to. I didn't say want to.
You don't want to?
No, I didn't say that. You're making it sound like I'm seeking speaking. I'm assuming when they make the judgment of how they're going to respond, we will then have a discussion.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President, for being here. What are you advising the Israelis to do in terms of their retaliation to Iran? And at this point, you still haven't spoken to Netanyahu. Is it fair to say that you have little personal influence over what he decides to do?
No. Look, our teams are in contact 12 hours a day. They're constantly in contact. I've already had my presidential.
Speaking of which, what are your thoughts on them calling for Blinken to step down?
Irrelevant until
Until after, okay.
Until after the fact, So Blinken's going to be there till January. So
The Daily Brief. We've already had interface between our military, the diplomats. It's in constant contact. They are trying to figure out. This is high holidays as well. They're not going to make a decision immediately, and so we're going to wait to see when they want to talk.
But over the past few months, they've consistently defied your administration's own advice. So do you believe that the Israelis are going to listen to the advice you're giving them?
What I know is the plan that I put together received the support of the UN Security Council, the vast majority of our allies around the world, as a way to bring this to an end. Look, the Israelis have every right to respond to the vicious attacks on them, not just from the Iranians, but from everyone from Hezbollah to the Houthis. Anyway, but the fact is that they have to be very much more careful about dealing with civilian casualties.
So how should they respond? You expressed concerns about the
he's not going to answer that question. He's going to answer about same question about 4 different ways.
Yeah, real quick. Thank you, Mississippi Delta. Hi, family. Don't mess with the oil. Bad move.
With this administration, it wouldn't surprise me. So normally I would say but this administration,
how should they respond?
all bets are off.
All right, we got to move on. Go ahead, Tam.
The election is a month away. One, I'd like to know how you're feeling about how this election is going. And then also, do you have confidence that it will be a free and fair election and that it will be peaceful?
2 separate questions.
Very much.
I'm confident it'll be free and fair. I don't know whether it'll be peaceful. The things that Trump has said and the things that he said last time out when he didn't like the outcome of the election were very dangerous. If you notice, I noticed that the vice presidential Republican candidate did not say he'd accept the outcome of the election. They haven't even accepted the outcome of the last election. So I'm concerned about what they're going to do.
Are you making any preparations, getting security briefings related to domestic security?
I always get those briefings.
You got to move on. Calculate, and we have to do a couple more.
Hi, Mr. President. When are you considering imposing sanctions on Iran, and would you include oil in those sanctions?
That's under consideration right now, the whole thing. I'm not going to discuss that out loud.
And just on your comments yesterday on the port strike, you said, by the grace of God, it's going to hold. Is there any reason you think that this
Well, there's more to do. A month from now, there's more to do in terms of everything from the whole notion of mechanization of the ports and the like. There's more to resolve.
Good, Daniel.
Thank you, Mr. President. Last night you said that there's still a lot to do to avoid an all-out war in the Middle East. I mean, firstly, aren't we pretty close to that definition already? And secondly, what can you really do to stop that happening?
There's a lot we are doing. The main thing we can do is try to rally the rest of the world, our allies, into participating like the French are in Lebanon and other places to tamp this down. And but when you have proxies as irrational as Hezbollah and the Houthis, and it's a hard thing to determine. I gotta go.
I know.
I said I'd take a couple questions.
All right, you're the
I think she's increasing her credibility.
Toulouse, you're going to be the last one.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for spending some time here with us. There have obviously been a number of crises that the country has been facing over the past several days with the hurricane, the port strike, with the situation in the Middle East. Can you talk about how your vice president, who is running for the presidency, has worked on these crises and what role she has played over the past several days?
Well, I'm in constant contact with her. She's aware we're singing from the same song sheet. She helped pass all the laws that are being employed now. She was a major player in everything we've done, including passage of legislation which we were told we could never pass. And so she's been, and her staff is interlocked with mine in terms of all the things we're doing.
All right, get off my lawn.
All right, go ahead. Nandita, sir, no, sir. I didn't call on you, sir. Nandita, go, Nandita.
Mr. President.
Pope Francis called her day of prayer and fasting.
Prayer and fasting this Monday, October 7th. Your reaction, sir?
I will pray and fast.
Mr. President, is that acceptable to you in terms of Israel's response? How long are you okay with Israel bombing Lebanon? What is acceptable to you?
All right, guys, that's it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you.
He actually did rather well.
Yeah.
He actually did rather well.
Reconsider dropping out of the race.
Basically, they're a lot better than Kamala Harris.
What made you want to come here today, Mr. President?
I would like to see Kamala Harris stand up in front of that like that, the press corps like that. I don't think she could. He actually did rather well.
Yeah.
He can't do it all the time, but he's still there. Okay.
Yeah, even when he's twitching out, you can tell he's a seasoned politician.
Yeah.
That's one thing I have to give Biden. Even when he's twitching out, you can tell that is a seasoned politician. He's been in the game for 50 years.
Yeah. The fact that he doesn't know what he's doing, I've never believed that. Okay. I've never believed that. The fact that he's not aware and he's out to lunch and his faculties can't. He's asleep at the wheel. I never believed that. Okay, and basically,
I think he plays that too. I think he plays that to his advantage.
He does, and I think that allows them to blame this kind of stuff on other people instead of him and Kamala Harris.
So he's basically like Grandmaster Purcell from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I'm doddering. Remember that. I'm a doddering fool. Remember this shit.
Yeah.
Like I just look at this and I'm like, you can tell by that smile, like I gotcha, bitches.
Yeah, the old Biden, the Shark 2 smile. Yeah.
How do you feel about Israel bombing Lebanon? And Smiles walked away. All right, that's it.
Yeah. Well, he actually, the thing is, they kept asking the same questions like 4 or 5 times. He answered it. That's as far as he was going to go. So they were trying. They were trying to get something. But the thing is, they knew he wasn't going to give it up. So.
I just look at it like this when it comes to, it's funny. Remember that question I asked you the other day about how close? My guess was 7. You said 8. So we're roughly around the same.
Yeah.
It had to be at the time where conventional things, the American public are not that bright.
Yeah,
during an election year.
Civilians, yeah.
Yeah.
During an election year.
Mm-hmm.
During a time where the American male is not at its fittest.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I've asked the female one time. I said, you said we're toxic, but at the same time, I don't see none of you broads signing up for selective service. So I'm going to ask you this question. Look at your sons, look at your brothers, look at the men you date. How many of these motherfuckers are fit enough to defend this country?
That's true.
It was a cold chill that ran through that room at that time.
I bet it was.
It was a cold chill. because their fate's worse than death. One of them is
What?
reality.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Nah. So, yeah, sometimes it depends on what the reality is.
Reality is you created this shit. I bet you right now in North Carolina, there's not one bitch asking for a feminist.
No, there's not.
They said
If
there's no. They
you
said
know,
there's no atheists in foxholes. There's no
It-
toxic masculinity during emergencies.
now, you're a soldier. Is that true? Atheists and foxholes?
Oh, very much true.
Okay.
You're praying to something. Even if it's, wait till the first bullet go over your head and it misses. And you realize how close a bullet comes to your head. The closest I've been shot at was about 10 to 12 inches.
Okay.
And that was by sniper ball.
Ooh. Okay.
I know I played this last week, but I want to get.
So you and Trump have a lot in common, huh?
Mm-hmm. Hey, BGS, I know I played this.
His talk to God was a lot closer. A lot closer. That would have been.
I know I played this one a couple weeks ago, but I wanted to get Charles' take on it.
You men out there, that I have a question for you men. You men out there that you look at me knowing you know what the deal is over here. You see this T-shirt? Do you see this fitted hat? You see this
and
lineup? You know, why do y'all still do it? Do you feel?
Because you have a pussy. No.
Exactly.
You have a pussy.
You're gonna be the champion that slays these boxers. Do you
No.
think that is what's gonna happen?
No.
Yeah, more
I'm gonna let it play. Then I'm gonna give my full frontal black. Matter of fact, if you want me to give, hold on, pause it. If you want me to give my clear, concise answer, we need about 4 to 5 donations. Even if it's $5, $1, because I'm gonna be in rare form.
$1 holler.
Yeah.
But now,
One time. Who's go ahead, AB.
After that in 20 years, what if all these other lesbians would do?
She knows why men come at it, because you have a pussy, and they know how men. The same reason you go at women, okay? It's because they have pussies. It doesn't matter. She could be the most femme thing with a ring on her finger. She's still gonna go after that chick. Okay.
Yeah, she thinks hers is off limits though. Only everybody else's pussy's fair game, but not hers.
She knows her pussy's fair game. Every lesbian, every dyke has a favorite dick.
A dick that they like. They don't talk about it.
Do you feel?
I mean, just look at the bone structure. I'm like, that's still it's still clearly a female.
They know. Yeah. I mean,
Number one, let me point this out. Number one, she's not an unattractive chick.
Yeah.
Right.
That's one. You don't have facial hair. You have pretty aesthetically pleasing features. So, even though you may dress like a dude, you're not a dude. You're gonna be. See, she's what you like to call the teeter-totter. Because if she really wanted to set men off, she can easily get hormones like testosterone and other shit. And she can really grow facial hair. She can do the whole cut off the titties, do the whole 9 yards, and build muscle. She did.
She would get different men. That's all.
But what did you say a long time ago, PTA? What did you say a long time ago? They always got that favorite dick. So she can look at the dick.
And what you're realizing nowadays is that women don't like taking care of women.
They don't.
No, they don't.
So what did the one chick, and I found her TikTok and Instagram too. She's on dates with men, and guess what she's dressing? She's in a dress.
Oh, this
she's
one?
showing cleavage.
This one right here?
No, the one with the blue dreads.
Oh, the blue dreads. Okay.
Yeah, I like to call chicks like her. I got to keep some of my femininity because you never know how bad it might get out here.
It might get out here, yeah.
Yeah.
And when they find out. Yes, and part of that is the challenge. Who's got more bragging rights?
Kinda, yeah.
Guess
More
what,
like
Charles?
hopefully, wishful thinking. But here's the thing: studs today don't look like studs to look like back in the day. When I was in high school, studs used to look like this.
they still do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all look like Manny Fresh. They used to look like Manny Fresh.
You're still a beautiful girl, right? Dudes fuck ugly women all the time. If a dude can
Yeah, that's
fuck a
true.
ugly
That is true.
Especially black men.
What did
See,
Trump
I
say?
told you.
Yeah,
You hate my theory, but you can't disprove it.
no, we can't.
girl. What makes you think he can't fuck a beautiful one with boy clothes on? Studs be out here thick as hell, pretty as fuck, long eyelashes, still got lip gloss on and shit. Y'all throw on a hat and a t-shirt, be like, but I'm dressed like a boy. I can't see your fade and your edge up from the back. Yeah, you can change your clothes, but the uniform doesn't change your fucking anatomy. At the end of the day, a beautiful woman is a beautiful woman. Think about any bad bitch. Think about Beyonce. Now think about her wearing a t-shirt and a fitted hat. She's still Beyonce. She's still getting this thing. The thing is,
Even though Kelly Rowland's prettier.
if you're gonna commit to
Yeah.
the other side, you gotta do a little more than just throw a fucking hat on and a t-shirt and get some tattoos and be like, yeah, what up, bro? Gotta rough yourself up a little more. Start working out, right? Smoke till your lips turn black. Grow some
What did I say?
monoxide on your face or something, right? And then we'll start looking at Tiffany like T-Dog. But until then, you Tiffany with boy clothes on and you can get it.
I have a question.
She forgets that there's a thing called the tomboy. Some women are
Oh yeah,
tomboys
and
and
I'll
they're
be the
straight
first
as
thing. Don't
hell.
let them tomboys fool you. Let them put a
I'm
dress
gonna,
on.
Tomboys can be
Let them put
mistaken
a
for
dress on.
studs and
Oh my
vice
goodness.
versa.
I'm gonna tell you this, man. It's the fact of the matter. Everybody here who, especially if you're past 40, most of the girls in high school who play basketball were gayer than a fucking PBS song. So what do the chicks in the WNBA look like now?
No, they just switched up because they want to make money.
Mm-hmm. And guess what?
They gotta glam
You
up a
think
bit.
you think women change because they might eat pussy?
Mm-mm.
How many? There's very few 60-year-old dykes you'll see. There's a lot of chicks who dibbled and dabbled for a few years
Yeah.
and come back into the force. Even if
Or
they
have been,
were,
excuse me.
see, they know their advantage. They can be gay and come back. Nobody's gonna challenge that. Men cannot.
Men cannot. Yeah.
Yeah. Now this next clip is one of the
Unless you're in
dumbest.
Atlanta.
Once you step in Atlanta, I mean,
All bets are off. Huh? Go ahead.
This next clip makes me want to beat the shit out of the people that are part of our education system.
A man can have a kid.
How?
Transgender. Your gender changes. You can have a kid. Google. Get out of my face. I'm not a transgender. I'm a bitch.
I'm a bitch.
She got that right.
She a
Big
dumb
old
bitch.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Stupid ass
god.
bitch.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey, what's going on, Louis?
Louis, what's going on, man?
What up, Louis?
Just got off.
BGS.
Just got off.
Yeah, check your emails. Santa Claus came early.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Oh, speaking of which, BGS.
Yes, sir.
Fuck
Go ahead. What did I do this time?
you remember how you was talking to your grandson about you was complaining about your grandson and the new math?
Yeah.
Well, I saw a video and all I have to say is, what the fuck?
It's the thing is because I had math. I think the last math class I taught, I actually taken was linear algebra, right?
Yeah.
And that's like 2 steps above the last calculus class. So when I look at it, I get it because to me it's not that complex. My thing is, why are you trying to teach kids this instead of teaching it in a more direct way? They mix them in in other words, you putting elements of algebra into the math instead of just teaching algebra altogether. You might as well just go ahead and teach them algebra.
in school, Lucas.
They got like 5 different levels of algebra.
Hold on, listen.
Okay.
Carry the 1,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll go 1 plus 4 is 5 plus 1 is 6.
Yeah. Simple.
That's my answer.
Yeah.
How you show how it's actually done. How it's actually done. Okay.
These are the tens, and that's the ones.
Okay.
4 tens and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, that's
And then 7 ones. And
okay.
then 1 more 10.
Okay.
And
This is how you make a dumber America.
3, 4, 5,
Okay.
6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, this wants to be with its friends, so it goes up to 50 and then it counts one more up, so it will make 63. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It-
Times
it-
have definitely
yeah.
changed.
No, the thing is
Now,
that the thing is, if you're trying to uh, uh, put theories, because this is theory, okay? It's an alternative way of
Yeah.
doing it, but this is theory, okay? If you're trying to teach a computer how to do math, that's what you would do, okay? In other words, computers aren't human. So if you're trying to come up with algorithm, actually teach a computer how to add, okay, that's the way you would do it for a computer, okay? Because
Isn't that like coding?
it is like coding because what he's actually doing and AB can tell you this is actually registers, right? Okay, the ones and the tens are actually registers, okay?
Yeah, the
And
binary.
they're binary. So basically, what he's doing right now is actually doing registers, right? Okay, so that's how come he's doing it that way. But if you actually want to teach an underlying principle how to do math, you can do that. But the thing is, I wouldn't spend that much time on it. The easiest way I should do it is the way she was doing it, which
Yeah.
the algorithm has been around for what 2,000 years or so.
Yeah, and I'm not necessarily against this, especially if you want them to go into programming, but you could do this at a later date. Teach them the easy way first, then they'll then add
If
on
you
to it.
if you want to spend like a week or two teaching them the underlying principles, you can actually get what is it, an abacus, or you can get a what is it, the little thing that the Chinese use. Okay, but basically that's the way that you're doing it. Okay,
Yeah.
you can do that, and for like a couple of weeks to show them the underlying principles of what you're doing, and then teach them the algorithm, which is the way she did it.
Yeah.
But they spend far too long with the fucking number line, which they don't remember anyway. Because my grandson, he's been learning the fucking number line since he was in kindergarten, right?
Mhm.
He's still not good at it. Okay, he's actually in seventh grade. He's still not good at the fucking number line, right?
Here's my
And
question: how do they do algebra, doing all that?
um. Algebra is okay. Algebra is its own separate thing. Okay, if you know how to subtract, divide, multiply, okay, and you know your fractions, you can do algebra, right? It's just a matter of memorizing. It's just memorizing
Equations.
your equations, right? Yeah, your rules, and then your methods. If you do that, you can do algebra, especially beginning algebra. It's not that hard. Okay, but the thing is that the thing is, you have to master, because a lot of people that had to teach algebra, right? They had to go back and master their basic math. Okay,
Mhm.
instead of this bullshit that he just did. Okay, you can't do that if you're trying to do algebra, because you have to be able to do that. You have to be able to look at a problem and multiply and add all kind of shit in your
Yeah,
head
on the spot. Yeah.
on the spot, which is something that what's his name? MGTOW Universe says you don't have to do it. You have to memorize anymore. Man, so get the fuck out of here with that shit. This bullshit.
But they so radical in school. Like my son,
hmm
like with the math, he's real good at math, so he could look at it,
Yeah.
and do it. They won't count that as accurate. They want him to go through all the steps.
They want him to show his work because they're trying to teach him a method. They're not trying to teach him to get the answer. And the higher you go up in math, it's more about the method and behind it than it is about the answer.
Yeah, but why would you start? Oh, okay.
It's because they're mixed. Because the ultimate goal is to get them into higher math, right? So what they're doing is, because women are better at doing this kind of shit, it's basically giving them little bits of it at a time. Okay. Women are actually very good at that. Men are not. Okay, the way you teach boys, and Lewis can tell you, give it to them all at once. You have to master one step. Okay,
I think they're doing that purposely
they are
to
doing it
confuse the
purposely.
boys.
It is to confuse because women don't learn that. Women learn better the way that they're doing it. Okay. Okay,
Mm.
they learn. Even the women are not. The girls are not doing that well because they're wrong. You know, the whole thing. They won't admit that they're wrong. Okay.
Now,
But
is this like a method to get more women into like into STEM with the coding and everything?
you know, the thing is, you can't do even with coding. Okay, you're going to have some higher math. You can't, you know,
Yeah.
at some point if you're going to code. Okay, now how Mookie teaches his people, I have no idea, but at some point you need higher math. Okay, you need at least algebra, intermediate algebra, to code. Um, and girls have traditionally sucked at math. Okay, even today they suck at math. So what they're trying to do is figure out a method that women's brain can actually absorb this math over a long period of time. Because if you try to give it to them algebra all at once, most of them won't get it. So what
Yeah.
they try
Shout
to do
out
is
to
go ahead.
Mississippi Delta. People in the West don't realize how modern and comfortable society is. Some places in the world will blow your mind.
Yeah, all you gotta do go across the border to Mexico. It's like you went back in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Or
don't have
you
to
can
go
go
that
to
far.
China and find out how far behind you are.
And you can go to Jamaica. You can go to well, or really Japan more than Thailand. You know, you get out of the main cities of Thailand and you go into the rural areas. Okay, so
Hmm.
they still have villages. Okay, we don't have villages anymore. But
Excuse
if
me,
you get on a
Lewis.
plane to go to the DR or something like this, you realize, yeah, I mean, you realize immediately
Check
how
out what
blessed you are.
check out what Spaceman says. He says, my son's struggle is that he can do so much math in his head that he tends to get checked for not showing his work.
In other words, okay, so when the thing is, that's the fault of the parents, okay?
Hmm.
Because kids want to get the answers and get the homework over with, okay? So you're going to have to ground him in his method, okay?
Right.
So you have to make sure when you check his work, you have to make sure that he goes through the steps. And the thing is, what you have to do if he's really having a problem, you're going to have a consultation with the teacher and say, okay, you got to send me an example how you want these problems worked out.
Hmm.
What method are you using?
Yeah.
Because some teachers I used to have that problem with my daughter all the time, right? I would give her an alternative method to actually get more superior method to actually get the answer a problem, and she'd get it
Hmm.
wrong because that's not the method that they wanted her to use. So you have to make sure what
Uh-huh.
method that they want them to use. What are they trying to teach them?
Yeah, but one of the problems with them teaching this binary stuff, how do they expect these parents to know how to do this stuff? Because you know they didn't teach this crap when we was coming up.
They don't. Okay, well, they don't care, man. In other words, if the kid doesn't make it, kid doesn't make it. It's acceptable losses. They don't care. I don't know. All teachers know is this is the way I'm supposed to teach it. This is how I get my paycheck. So this is what I'm going to do. Hell, so half the time they don't really understand it themselves. Okay,
Damn. That's
because
fucked
I
up.
That's
talk,
what the teachers are written books
cause,
for.
yeah, because I've talked to them, and I'm like, you look at them side eye. You really don't understand this shit yourself, do you?
Oh damn.
I didn't say it. You know, I don't. You know, I'm respectful. I didn't say it, but I'm looking at them with side eye. I'm looking at them like they're looking at me. I said, "Sweetie," you know, I look at them. I said, "Dude," or "Sweetie." I said, "I had way more math than you would even attempt."
Hmm.
So you talk to me about math.
Here's a little fun one that I made myself.
Hmm.
When you say you're not voting for Kamala, we get it. We know who you are. You are the
Okay.
fact candidate who the Klan.
Yeah, well, we know who you are too. You're the dummy who backs the party who helped start the Klan in the first place. You're the dummy who backed the original pro-slavery party. You're the dummy who backs a party that was started by a slave owner.
And you elected a closet Klansman to office.
Ooh, yep. Actually, I actually got a sparring match with her in the comments. She's like, "But I'm voting for the Liberal Party." I was like, okay.
You think these people are liberal? Okay, that's why I asked. Even the so-called the red on the red team, right? Well, Biden's a liberal. That means you don't know what the fuck you're talking about because Biden's no liberal.
He's a conservative.
He is a he's a. I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to get AB's channel in trouble.
Just type it in back chat.
No, I'm not gonna type it in the back chat. AB knows what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm not gonna say it here. Y'all really don't know who's in office, right? If Dick Cheney, the Prince of Darkness, comes out and endorses this candidate in this agenda, you know what you're getting. Okay.
Yep.
You're getting Strom.
Yeah. Worse than that. Strom ain't got nothing on Dick.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah.
And what we're going through right now in this world, war.
In fact, guess what? I think it was it McGregor? Or it might have been one of the realists, military realists. Guess what he said? He said this is endgame. I wonder where he heard that from.
I do wonder where did he hear that from?
Yes, and Redacted started using black pill politics. Fascinating.
But yeah, let me show y'all the original video here. Give me a second.
Very, very interesting. As
When you say you're not voting
for
for Kamala, we get it. We know who you are. You would rather back the candidate who the Klan backs. Because even if you're not voting for Trump and you're not voting for her, you're still a black person who is refusing to vote for an educated, qualified person of color who is running for president. And it just shows us your ancestors were more like this. You're wondering who that lady is up there on that steed, because Negroes like you don't like that. You'd rather us be out there in the plantations and the fields than to be seen higher than a white man. We see you. We understand. But
wait a minute. Aren't y'all doing that for Biden now?
They're doing it for Biden now, but the thing is, so if President Barack Obama was married to a white woman, what would you say?
Crickets.
5,000 lashes.
They would have been like they would have been singing Bishop Bullwinkle's "Hell to No" on that one.
I'm not gonna call her a bed wench, but pretty close.
I have no other choice.
I
but
said
to think your
Bishop
ancestors
Bullwinkle.
acted like this, and you look like this to me because I know your ancestors didn't look like this. Definitely not like this. You could never.
Well, we also know that you didn't show a full body picture either.
Could you imagine any of them saying, I'm not voting for a qualified black candidate?
Yeah.
Could you imagine
a collarbone?
Yeah.
of them saying, I'm not voting for a qualified person of color? I know y'all think y'all be eating when you say stuff like this, but really you just show us that all skin folks ain't kin folks.
Exactly, like you.
Why does she remind me of Lynn Whitfield without the pushback?
I don't know. I don't see it, but maybe you do.
Yeah, I see it, but I don't know why. There's some things I see, I don't know why.
That's all your life.
They got glasses, man. They got glasses, but yeah. You ever notice the people who support her never bring up her fucking past about her being locking up black folks left and right?
Oh,
Well, that's what she's supposed to do.
Never mind that. Never mind the your lying eyes.
Hamina.
Oh, they switched themselves from pretzels to try to defend her.
The mental gymnastics they do.
I had a dude try to tell me yesterday, you're making up stuff talking about these immigrants are getting money. I was like, okay, bro, don't go to Chicago and say that. Please don't. Do not go to Chicago and say that. Don't do it.
If you're if you're good with it, you're good with it. It's okay.
How the fuck do you think they could survive in America and they're not getting money from the government?
Yeah.
Exactly. Robberies and murder would be up 30 and 40% if the government wasn't taking care of them right now. Period.
Over 50% of my shoplifters are illegal immigrants right now.
Yeah, of course. To survive, yeah.
Man, say it again. How many percent?
Over 50.
So when the cops show up, did they let them go with the goods?
The police don't even arrest shoplifters.
Oh, they don't. Okay, you just walk out.
We
You
take
just-
a picture. We take a picture of them and let
Mhm.
them go.
Okay.
And we put it in a databases throughout the entire chain. And
Okay.
whenever they come in any store, because we got the facial recognition, we just kick them out.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's cheaper to do that than to
Okay.
go
Because
through the legal
they ain't going to court. Because y'all ain't going to court. That's why.
Oh, well, they don't have enough money or resources to prosecute these people. That's why.
No,
Some
they
people are
never
doing
were
it.
doing that before. They stopped doing that years ago.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, because the store owners never went to court.
Oh, okay.
Wasting the cops' time.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Yeah.
It is what it is.
Anyway, when I was a kid, they come get you.
That's because an arrest was an arrest was an arrest.
Yeah.
Now we got people who are. That's what happens when you're raised by single mothers. Oh, you gotta be gentle to people who commit crimes.
Until they pull a knife on you.
Yeah, well, there's a slippery slope.
Mm-hmm.
At least
Remember,
you're not-
that's
at
the
least you're
same
not
chick.
getting- yeah.
That's the same chick who says she's pro-black. If you call the police on your black ass, if you get out of pocket.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, no, pro-black doesn't mean you're pro-black man, though.
Well, pro-black woman.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That what is it? What you call it? Hope tip for pussy?
Yeah, hotepping for pussy, yeah. Ooh, that's why I got off of Facebook, man, and came to YouTube because I got tired of these dudes hotepping for pussy.
Like that.
Exactly. Queen, don't listen to him, Queen. Okay, he's just unconscious. That's all, Queen. Okay. We apologize, Queen, for not being the man that we supposed to be.
That we supposed to be.
You telling me that I can't be the man of your life? I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna be so much better. You know why I'm gonna make me become better? Because I'm gonna bow down and wash your feet and kiss your ass.
See,
I'll drink your bath water, baby.
Yeah. That's why.
Now you're gonna
That's why I
make
hated 90s R&B, man.
Say what?
I fucking hated 90s R&B.
One at a time, y'all. Who's first?
Well, hold on, wait a minute. I'm sorry, I gotta play it since you bring up hoteps.
Umar? Oh, him? Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
For little girls, for aunties, for grandmothers, for wives, for partners, for lovers, for teachers, ditch diggers, engineers, around the way girls, to presidential candidates.
Wait a minute.
We
What about
black
up the
men
block bitches?
who have too often failed you, who have too often not said the right thing at the right time, who have been vulnerable to the claim that we have forgotten what you have done for us, the magnificence of your service to our people, the beauty and power of your spirit at times when we flagged. We remember all the remarkable things you have done and beg your forgiveness for us not standing up for you when times were tough, or when no one else was in the room to defend you, to assert the legitimacy and validity of your personhood. Please forgive us. But no more will that occur. And so the other night, Keith Boykin and I were on CNN trying to be respectful to the congresswoman who insisted upon misnaming, mispronouncing Kamala Harris. Do you call Melania? Do you call Ivanka? Then call Kamala. Then call Vice President Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris. And soon, we pray and hope and work that you will call her President Kamala Harris. So this is a note to put on notice anybody who would come for us, who would try to stain the reputation or besmirch the character of black women. Not only the...
That's enough of that crap. Do you want me to share that, Lewis?
if you want, if you're still doing your political stuff, don't show it yet. This is something I got off of Clubhouse with Nicole Michelle.
Man, I don't want to listen to the rest of that soliloquy. Fuck that shit. We'll listen to Nicole Michelle.
She kind of mentioned you, BGS.
Oh, did she? Oh, really?
Welcome to Inner Beauty TV. I'm your host, Nicole Michelle, founder and femininity mentor for the Inner Beauty Movement. We're all about helping women reconnect. Know that we were back from summer break, so make sure you hit the like button, leave me a comment, like, subscribe, share, let people know that we're live on here. As a matter of fact, let me let my face in my content around trends. I professionally don't think that that's in your best interest, because what I do is prepare you for something that's going to fizzle out. Now, the trad wife movement is not going to fizzle out for you ladies that are listening to me, you ladies that are hunkering down, changing, doing what you need to do, kind of like improving yourself, because you're already awesome women, right? So there's nothing that I would say you need to improve about you, your person, but overall just becoming the best person that you can be. So when your future husband, 90% of women will not become a traditional wife. And I'm talking about the women that have caught on to this, that have said, oh, this is me. I want a provider. I need a man to pay my bills. They're going to fizzle out. Now, how do you beat that? How do you differentiate yourself from that? I'm going to tell you right now and right here. We're going to go down the rabbit hole. And you know how you do that? You got to get out. Yes, you got to get out of the matriarchal mindset. What hasn't been taught in a lot of these spaces, and I know for a fact I've been in a lot of spaces, I've heard a lot of people with larger audiences and followings than myself. I've been in male spaces, I've been in red pill spaces, I've been in women's spaces, I've been in, you name it, I've been in a lot of spaces. And what I can tell you, there's only one space that mentioned this about matriarchal mindsets. Only one. And it was a man.
Was that you, BGS?
And so what I'm getting ready to share with you is going to trigger some people, but hopefully not a lot of people that are listening to this will be triggered, because really, if you can make it past the trigger, you're going to be able to beat the odds. And what I'm saying is that the patriarchal mindset is absolutely needed to be a traditional wife. Yes, I said it. You may not like it, you may dislike it, but it is the truth. You have to honor being as the head of the family in order for this to work. It will not work any other kind of way. Many women have adopted a lot of the words that we say. Provider, courtship has been redefined. Basically, they've taken transactional relationships and flipped it on its head and said, if you're a wife, you're getting paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
I know, it's horrible. Doesn't the enemy work real weird like that? He just takes and inverts and perverts every single thing. Marriage is supposed to be beautiful, and people have taken that and inverted it to mean transactions. I hate
this
that.
come from the bag lady,
but
really?
that's what the enemy does. The enemy is doing what he does.
This
But
is
let's
what I
talk about
emailed you, BGS.
definitions
Have
of
fun with it.
matriarch, because I want this clear. That there's no there's no discrepancy about what we're talking about here. And those of you on my other platforms, hit the link at the top to join the YouTube family, because I really want your participation in this. I want you to see the visuals, but I also want you to meet up with other people and then kind of hang out with us over here. So let me read some definitions for a second. I thought I had my definitions. Let me get my glasses here. Sorry about that.
You need to get
All right.
bag. Okay.
Definition of matriarchy. Let's go up here. I had a ton of definitions ready. Here we go. Matriarchy is a social system or structure in which women, particularly mothers, hold primary power and authority in roles of political leadership, moral authority, social privilege, and control of property. In a matriarchal society, lineage and inheritance are often traced through the female line, and women may have significant influence over societal decisions and family dynamics. While true matriarchal societies are rare, the term is often used to describe cultures where women have a dominant or leading role in social and familial structures. Let me just say before I get really deep into this that I'm not just talking about traditional marriage, although this is the focus of this conversation today. Oh, let me turn that heater off. Lord have mercy.
Hot
Ooh,
flash.
hot flash much.
Mhm.
Okay. Sorry. While I am focusing on traditional marriages, I'm just talking about marriage in general. Some women are going to miss the mark on marriage in general, not just a traditional marriage, but marriage in general because they have a matriarchal mindset. Now, I'm not beating up on people who grew up this way. I'm just pointing out something that may be lost in the sauce when we start talking about relationships and relating to men. We start to go down this rabbit hole about how horrible men are, how the patriarchy is down with the patriarchy, but we really don't sit down and dissect what that really means and how that can be very destructive in the mindset of women who want to be married. And I know that some of you may be listening to this going, this is not me. But we talk about dating, we talk about relationships, we talk about all of these things. We've broken down how we choose men. Now let's go into our mindset. Our mindset with or without a man. Okay, this is before the man shows up. How are we viewing relationships? How are we viewing men? That's what I'm talking about here. That's what I'm focusing on here. And so that definition of matriarchy, we're going to start with that. But let me go. And I'm going to break down some matriarchal societies. The first one is Masowo. Because a lot of times when feminists start talking, I love they will always throw in debating feminists, they will always bring up the form of social organization where women have significant authority, particularly in family and household matters. They follow a system of walking marriages. So those of you who want to research the Masuo tribe, Mosuo.
Where did you get that term?
If you want to look that up, go. Feel free to do that. Mosuo. Whenever you're debating feminists, they will always bring up the Masuo community over there in China. But Google walking marriages, where women choose their husbands and maintain their own households. It's very nuanced, their community. But when you're engaging in people who want to paint this picture that the patriarchy is horrible and everything male led is horrible, they will always use this community over in China. And what I discovered about them is that not everything that I've heard about this community is absolutely true. The next group, and forgive me if I but I want you to discover them on your own. Then we have the Iroquois.
Fuck that shit.
These people follow a matrilineal system where inheritance and lineage are traced through women.
Wait, not that.
Expectations in society, often reflecting cultural. Let's move away from the word provider, because what I want us to do is to differentiate ourselves from women running a scam. There are a lot of women out here using marriage to run a scam. We're going to start saying primary breadwinner. That's going to set us apart. Okay. And notice once we start saying that, they're going to start saying primary breadwinner. But right now, a lot of people are misappropriating the word provider as the person who sends them on trips and buys them handbags, and he's just going to help her leave her job and she's not going to have to work and she can sit at home and be pretty and do nothing. And so that's a provider, air quotes. That's not what a traditional husband is for. So we're going to say primary breadwinner. Primary meaning the top breadwinner, right?
Oh boy.
Traditional. So he's not traditional if you're contributing to your stability, right? He's also a leader or a decision maker. This is important to pay attention. Even if you're not traditional, you need to hear these definitions because they're work together. Yes, but we're adopting verbiage that doesn't apply to us. We're adopting verbiage from another community that doesn't apply to us.
Wait, I think.
To learn how to lead, we're going to say he's the head of household. Okay? Okay? He's the head of household. Can you all hear me? Somebody's saying they can't hear me. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Yes, partner. I cannot stand that. That makes me itch.
Okay.
The word partner, we're going to say head of household. No traditional woman, if she's really traditional, is saying partner, period. And this goes for wives, period. Wives do not call their husbands partner.
Ooh.
Everybody under the sound of my voice that I'm mentoring, No, we do not. You are not my husband. I'm sorry, you're not my partner. You're my husband. Well, he is my partner. We work together, yes, but we're adopting verbiage that doesn't apply to us. We're adopting verbiage from another community
Ooh,
that
oh,
doesn't
oh,
apply
oh,
to
yeah.
us. He's
Oh, she
not my
has been
partner. Yes,
listening.
he is
My goodness.
we work together in tandem with the family. We are a family unit, but he is my husband. And the reason why we're moving away from that verbiage is because, and I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but this is too good. I'm in my ism. The husband denotes that he is in fact a leader. He is in fact the head of household. So when we take that moniker off of him and say he's my partner, what we in essence are saying we're equal. I'm not equal. My husband is the lead. Okay? My husband is the head of my household. It is God. It is specifically Christ, Jesus Christ. It is my husband. Then it's me, and then it's the children, and then it's any pets. And in that order. That's traditional wife.
It is.
Okay. So when they start
I
talking
get
partner
that,
this and
yeah.
partner that, you're in essence saying I'm equal to my husband. That is not what we say. So if you're wife material or future wives, as I like to call you, we don't use partner. Stop using partner today. Start saying he's the head of household. He is my husband. I never refer to my husband as my partner. He is the leader of this household. Okay? Head of household, he's making key decisions. I didn't say he makes all the decisions. Notice I said that. Pay attention to that because I'm going to come back to that later. He makes key decisions, not all the decisions, because I make some decisions too.
Gotta
He
stay
makes
guided
key
subject somehow.
decisions. He's related to finances, major purchases, and long-term planning. I do make decisions, especially with long-term purchases. Shout out to my husband. Love you. Okay, so that's the leader. He is the authority figure. Write that word down. Authority figure. That's a
Well, not
word
gonna go
that
very
a
well.
lot of matriarchal mindset women don't like. They don't like that word authority. He is the authority of the home, right? He is viewed as the authority within the family structure, guiding and leading in various aspects of family life. He is a guide, and he's also a leader. Okay. He is a protector, right? Physical safety, emotional security, and sense of security in a protective role. The word of provider protector is every woman wants a protector, but they don't want to slow down and listen to a man and his instructions. Okay.
True.
In order to give you physical safety, you need to be obedient to his instructions so that he can place you
Oh, where
in a
did she get
place where
that
he can
from?
reach you, where he can physically protect you. If
Oh,
you're hard
I
headed and
literally
you
wrote
get,
that.
hey baby, hey to everybody following in, like the stream for me, let the algorithm know we're live.
Boy,
If you want to be
plagiarism, boy.
physically safe, you got to pay attention. All right. I remember in elementary school they had these storm. Shout out to those of you that
First rule of
were hit by
protective is
Helene. We
what?
love you,
Obedience.
protecting, and praying for you as well. But I
Stole it
remember
right
in
out my
elementary
playbook.
school, we would have these storm practices where they would move us out of class, and we would have to practice in case of a tornado or in case of a hurricane or a major storm. What would our procedures be in the case we were hit? That's what a man does. He has instructions and he has rules and regulations. I'm going to talk like my daddy today, okay? Rules and regulations. In order
That
to
part, Pastor
properly
OG.
receive
Okay, now
protection
getting tough. They are
from a
tough.
man, there's rules and
Hey,
regulations.
passport. Do you want a
That
copy
is
of this?
procedure for men. That's procedure.
Anybody
In
that
order for
want
him to
it,
protect you and give you
email it
proper
to you.
protection, if he doesn't know where you are, he doesn't know who you're with, when you're going to come back, how far you are, and if you're constantly pushing up against that, it's hard for him to give you proper protection. So that's what I'm talking about. All right. And keep that in mind because we're talking about matriarchal mindset. Emotional security, a sense of security in a protective. He's being protective. Right. Minimal domestic duties. All right. This is for traditional husbands. So we'll move on past that because that is talking about his duties in the home. Emotional reserve. This is tricky because we will interpret that the wrong way, especially in matriarchal minds. And every time you cry, oh baby, y'all just crying into each other's arms. Would you trust him to protect you? I don't know about you, but I need my man to have a little hardness to him, baby. You crying with me? What's going on? I know you feel, but I kind of need you to have a display a little bit of stoicism. Meaning, he's carrying that, but he's taking his emotions and redirecting them in a way that says, okay, I felt that. I heard that. I acknowledge that. Let me take that data, switch that anger, that fear into something that will protect my wife and children. That's what stoicism is. It's not this open display of vulnerability and emotions. Not to say men won't cry sometimes, because sometimes they do. A lot of times it's away from you and away from us women, girls, because we will interpret that the wrong way, especially in matriarchal mindsets. We look at that as weak. We look at him as a punk and all kinds of other names. The BANs. You know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we will call him names. We will, totally emasculate him because he showed his vulnerability. So a lot of men have been conditioned to not show vulnerability because we will flip it on them, right? So emotional reserve. He is emotional. He's just reserved. Okay, he's handling issues logically, okay, and pragmatically rather than emotional. We're the emotional ones. Let's say a car accident, for example, we get bumped. The first thing women do is danger. Women, we're saying, oh my God, my babies, rigid. They're walking around, their voices are deeper, they're getting taller and masculine and hard. I've seen women with muscles as hard as men. And I'm not, please don't take offense to that. I'm telling you how humans are evolving. The more we live without each other, the more we fight each other, the more we become what we're missing. Hold on to that thought. Okay. So in that same
The body
scenario,
type.
he's processing it. Let's get everybody out of danger. And she, oh, my babies, ah. She can have blood everywhere, right? But she's processing it. My husband is hit. Baby, get out of the way. He's trying to move everybody out of the way. Same scenario, different processes. That's all I'm trying to say. Now, let's move on. Commitment to traditional values is going to be the traditional husband. We can move on. The husband, the man, he is a role model. This is where a lot of men fall off the wagon here. They underestimate the importance of him setting the tone. Okay, you have to be somebody that your children can respect. You can talk their talk. Well, daddy made a whole lot of mistakes back then when I was young, as all parents will do at some point. Once, if we come honest and tell a little of our experiences, we all have those days where we were less than perfect. We weren't godly. We did some stuff. We were like, ooh, I hope that don't get out. But the point is, for the most part, we are role models, right? All our children will understand that we made mistakes. I think all of us know a little bit of something about our parents that kind of made them cool. You're like, oh, mama flipped out like that. Mama crashed out like that on daddy. Oh, that's pretty cool. But for the most part, mom was a good woman, right? For the most part, grandpa was good, right? And I think husbands and men need to pay attention. To lead a family, you really do need to be a role model. You cannot underestimate this part. This is valuable because when we're talking about matriarchal mindset, hold on to that. Role model, positive example for children in terms of work ethic. You cannot be playing video games all day and expect your children to develop a healthy work ethic. You're yelling at the children, go ahead, do your homework, and you're on the game. Sir, how many times have you seen your parents come home and immediately start doing chores around the house? My grandfather was like, he was 81 and still doing stuff around the house. My grandfather still walked heavily. He still did chores around the house, in the garden and things like that. Grandmother, same thing. You understand what I'm saying? My father's same thing. Always found something to do, get into. Oh, I need to fix this. I gotta replace this knob. I need to do this and do that. That's constantly going and going. I'm not saying that men cannot have a rest moment, but he's constantly looking for things to do to stay busy. My father-in-law is in his 80s, and I promise you,
Yeah, check your
he
email.
rested very little when we visited him. That man is healthy, love him so very much, and he's constantly finding things to do. Love him, right? He's a supportive husband, right? Contrary to this summer, I might do like the rest of this day might be D&D, but Sunday I'll take half the day off. Like I don't want to be in that territory. That then you yelling and screaming, you're not giving him any sex, you're snippy and bossy and snapping at him, emasculating him. Now you're in territory where you don't want to be. You don't want to be in that territory where he kind of resents you. And then you have social expectations,
You can
maintaining a
stop it now.
respectable public
Yeah.
image
Yeah, she gonna be
as a
going on for a
reliable and
while.
honorable
Yeah, you
husband.
got to find the good
Let
parts
me
and
tell
cut
the
them.
fellas something. Marrying you gives us
But BGS, you got to go through it and you cut the good parts out. But
Yeah, she wants a good old fashioned what do they call it? Covenant marriage again.
Mm-hmm.
They're tired of being independent. You know, they're tired of working 3 jobs. Yada yada yada.
Oh,
Oh, you my
fuck
email?
Huh? I believe them, but yeah, because they're tired, man. They
the
see what's coming.
environment.
The
Tired of
environment's
what?
changing. What?
You feel nothing, shit. If they asked for this, boss. So guess what? They didn't understand.
I,
You went.
I said they were gonna come back to the table, but are you gonna take them? That's what I've always
Hey,
said that.
AB, I was working today and I had that plan. And when
Mhm.
she mentioned matriarch, it said I only heard that from a man in the space. And then when she talked about partner,
Yeah.
talking about that's for a different group, I'm like,
Oh,
where did she hear that?
now first of
yeah.
all, you already know he
And
stole
I
a
just
lot.
I pulled out my laptop and
Mhm.
hooked up my iPad and recorded it while I was working.
Now he stole the protection shit from me.
Yeah.
Nobody else said that in the space. Now
Nah.
That but the black manosphere is dead. It's ineffective. Nobody listens to you anymore.
All y'all do is talk about women all day. Oh wait.
Until you talk about politics, but you're wrong most of the time. Clowns.
Oh, we're right. Not 9 out of 10 times, and yada yada yada. Let me shut up.
Clowns. Yeah. I see they stopped talking about us over there on the other side. Leave them alone.
Yeah, I'll just leave them alone, man. I pop in every now and then. I don't even comment in the chat anymore. I'm just
Nah.
like it's not worth it anymore.
Yeah, clowns.
They talking about Kamal's going to give Vladimir Putin straight. I'm like, she's 5'4", and you think she's going to get a former KGB officer? Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone.
Yeah. Nah. Uh, my thing is, man, it's just something that's just not right about her. You know, as far as being president, it's just something just doesn't
Yeah,
sit
it's not
right
that
with me.
she's a woman. There's something about her that's
Yeah,
like,
because Hillary Clinton was way more qualified. I never had a
yeah.
problem with Hillary Clinton, but her is like, I don't know, man.
Manchurian candidate.
No. More like remember in Game of Thrones when they gave that kid the throne.
Joffrey.
Yeah, is it Joffrey or is it Joffrey?
Yeah,
The
the spoiled brat
the
that they
spoiled
got.
brat. Yeah. Kind of reminds me of that.
every time I ask people what qualifications does she have running the country, they try to say, well, he doesn't have. Well, she was vice president. I said, do you know the vice president, the president of the Senate, right? What did
Yeah.
she vote on?
Mm-hmm.
You like paying a lot more for food? Thank
Well,
her.
it's not her fault. That's all Trump's fault. It's blame Jermaine on the. Oh,
It's always Jermaine.
it's almost
I gotta
Jermaine's
find
fault.
that video.
Yeah.
I gotta find that video sometime.
I'll send it to you if I can. I'll find it and send it to you. In fact, it was on Facebook. It might be on Twitter. Because she went to trial maybe a few months ago because they're trying to. A judge actually recused himself. Basically, they're trying to send her to jail for prison for murder, right? The bitch is nuts. Okay, that's probably why the judges keep recusing themselves.
Yeah, look, if she needs to be locked up, man, do it.
No, she's nuts. I mean, she's truly insane.
Yeah, you can tell from that video, like, that she's off a rocker.
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah. Tried to kill her 2 kids, and because she had a third child that was taken from her.
Oh.
The chick I forget her name, but the one that says it's all Jermaine's fault. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's the one. She killed one kid, and she darn near killed the other kid because her husband was getting ready to get custody.
Oh, that's the difference that they never talk about. When men lose custody, they take it as just this is what it is. Women get custody, they're ready to kill the kid.
Because that's the gravy train gone.
Oh yeah, the gravy train is gone.
Yep. Women that are nuts like that, man, they'll have all kind of freaking reasons.
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's
It's always
fault.
Jermaine's fault. Yeah.
Wow. Just realized how uneducated people are on a basic level of how government works. This is the reason why there's so much misinformation going around, and people are just ready to believe it because they don't understand how government works on the most basic level. Here's an example. People crying on here about how they're only getting $750 for hurricane relief, saying, how come Biden and Kamala aren't doing anything about it? Well, it's because they don't control the money.
Yes, they do.
Don't control the money. The president or the vice president.
Yes, she
has
does.
No control
Yes,
over the money.
yes, they do.
Nothing with the money.
Yes,
Again,
they do.
They do nothing with the money.
You don't
They
know.
never bring up any facts, do they?
They are the ones
No,
that
because
figure out who gets what and how much. Congress. Only Congress.
No, it's not.
FEMA
That's not
had a
true.
request for more money for disaster relief in Congress.
They've already spent $650 million.
In other words, there's a budget, and the president once the budget is laid out for his individual agency, he can allocate where the money goes. Okay. Without Congress gives them a budget. You got this much money in FEMA, and how you allocate your money is up to you. Okay, up to the president, because that's the president's discretion. And so she don't know what the fuck she's talking about.
Congress, which is Republican led, said no money for you because they control the money.
That's because
That's
they
not
already
true.
they already gave them. They already lent out the money they was going to give them, and they came back asking for more.
Yeah.
The reason why the Republican-led Congress said no to more FEMA money, it's because they don't want any problems solved during an election period. They gave Biden and
Hold up. I'm sorry.
Oh! Just like Nancy Pelosi did with the last COVID bill just before the election. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. Let's just flip the board for a minute. If a Democratic Congress had given the Republicans a certain amount of money, and they wasted it on some bullshit, what would be their incentive to give them more money in an election year? Really?
Yep.
I mean, turnabout's fair play. I'm actually playing devil advocate here. What would be the Democrats' incentive to give them money?
I mean, the Congress didn't vote to give migrants TPS money. Okay, from FEMA. Where'd that come from? So you civilians, man. They just women don't investigate, man. They just
the money that they requested for FEMA, and it would make them look good. And the Republicans do not want them to look good during an election period.
No shit.
Yeah.
Any problems that arise within this election cycle, unless it benefits the Republicans, it will not pass because they don't want to solve any problems. They want to keep the problems on the table that you can vote.
okay, this coming from the Democrat. This coming from the Democrat side. They had a veto-proof majority with Obama. They lost that in 2010. They didn't have a veto-proof, but they had both houses with Biden, and they didn't do anything. So
I mean, the thing is, if she's thinking about the top of the ticket, man. Most of those people in the South, okay, the Republicans have to run for office, especially the House, okay,
hmm
and those are their constituents. They would give them the money if the money was there. They wouldn't hold up the money just for a presidential election because it affects their election too, because they have to answer to these people.
right.
She doesn't know shit.
That's all
No,
this
no shit.
is. Meanwhile, the American people are suffering. So when you're looking to find out where's your money going or who's authorizing this money to go wherever it's going, it's Congress, not the president. It doesn't even get to the president until it goes through Congress
Bullshit.
and the Senate, then the president.
You never heard of executive orders?
Call Congress.
What is this? Is called Congress, okay? And I'm sure they're calling Congress right now. The thing is, the money's already been allocated, and
Okay.
and basically, your president allocates the money to actually be sent, okay, according
Which
to his
cabinet?
budget.
Which cabinet is FEMA under?
It would be under Homeland Security.
It's under Homeland Security.
hmm
Homeland Security became a cabinet when?
2003, I do believe.
2000, about 2002, 3.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Right after 9/11.
Directly after 9/11.
hmm
So you're telling me FEMA already has a budget.
hmm
Who's in charge of FEMA attacks when there's a FEMA attack? Usually it's going to be the fire department, then the police department second.
Yeah.
And ask me why I know. We have classes on this shit.
Well, it depends on where it's at.
Usually fire department's going to take the lead because the most of your FEMA shit is going to be search and rescue and everything.
Yeah.
Subject matter expert.
Yeah, and it depends on where, like your port authorities and shit like that. Depends on where it's at and stuff like that. Like
Even then, that's their thing. That's how they're branched.
okay,
And when you look at this, FEMA has a budget like every goddamn other cabinet under Homeland Security. So they have the money allocated, just like something like reparations, which you can start somewhat of it with an executive order, but ultimately it's going to have to go to Congress. So this is the reason why talking to women most of the time is like, bitch, you don't know what the fuck you talking about.
all they know is what they've heard. Okay, they don't think or research.
This is the reason why.
Somebody told her that.
BGS. I hate to say this, but when black women and think don't often belong in the same sentence, unfortunately, for some of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, black women and think about something, think hard about something. They just don't belong in the same sentence.
What you mean think? I got my emotions wrapped around.
Where'd you get that from? Well, my girlfriend told me.
My girlfriend, who got a 7th grade education and 12 babies.
Or my mama told me, or whatever.
My mama did.
Or CNN said that. Okay,
My mama told me, and nobody's smarter than my mama, even though she wasn't smart enough to get married. My mama said.
Yeah, well,
if Congress is holding up the money and Kamala Harris is running, that's the first thing Joe Biden and them would have said. Okay, that Congress is holding up the money, and she would have blamed Trump and the Republicans right off the rip.
Well, Trump, who hasn't been in office in 4 years.
They would love to plant this on Trump, okay? And the Republicans. They would love to.
They tried because when Trump went down there, with that food truck, they it's just a political stuff. I'm like, so what? It's a good one.
Of course, it's a political stunt. Duh. Okay. What if he didn't go?
Yeah.
Well, Trump didn't even show up, and he's running for office. I'm not gonna vote for him because he's running for office. He didn't even show up. Of course he did. That's like what do you think? Why do you think she did? Same thing.
But look bad.
Yeah, it looked bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Civilians.
Brother. Can
Say
y'all hear?
again? Barely.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
A little bit better. What's up?
Yeah, man, I'm hearing what y'all was saying, and we just recently had a hurricane down here, and FEMA came in. It wasn't as bad as like Ike was, especially like Harvey was, but when they first came, give you a good
And when we say down here, you have to say where down here is.
Houston.
Okay. Oh, I remember that. The one like 2-3 years ago.
They
Was
had
that 5 years ago?
well, they had one just this year, right? That was pretty bad.
Okay.
And that was the one that we was out of lights, I think, here for about maybe 2 weeks. Some people was
Oh,
a
I
little
remember
long.
that. I remember that. Yeah.
So what I was going to say is when FEMA originally put out the deal, so when you go on to the website for disasterassistance.org, what they're going to do is they're going to get once you have been established as a federal declared emergency area, your zip code or your county, what they do is they ask you, hey, well, how did it affect you? Did it affect your vehicle? If you have a home or you're a homeowner, did it affect your home? Are you in need of housing? Are you in need of food? Are you in need these type of things? So you go in, you put in all this stuff, and afterwards they assess you what money that they may want to give you. So they may just give a blanket deal. Which they did here was they was like, well, we're just gonna give everybody $750. That was the original number. And then if you had let's say you had food spoilage, things of that nature, they'd give you maybe another $300 or $400. If you had home damage and you did not have insurance on your home, then they'll work with you up to about $5,000 to $10,000. But they're gonna send an inspector, and that's gonna take a long time.
Yeah.
And most people won't get that. If your car was damaged, let's say it got flooded out, and you didn't have insurance on the car, they could give you some money for your car damages based directly on storm damage. And most people will wind up just getting that 700 BGS. But in most cases, if you did have food that was spoiled, they would go ahead and give you that 300 to 500 for that, depending on how many kids you had. And then for your home and your car, if you had insurance on the home or the car, then they're going to direct you to the insurance people. If you did not, they'll probably cap it off at about $5,000. That's typically how they do it.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if this stuff is circulating, they should have people out here explaining it instead of letting it run wild like this. So, I've never heard it where they would say, okay, FEMA's only giving these people $700, and half of them don't even qualify for it. So,
yeah, and then there's other people besides FEMA that get money, like Red Cross here does it. Baker Ripley, a couple of nonprofits that get money from the government that actually go in and actually help people that don't have insurance and things of that nature. I even remember J.J. Watt, when Harvey came, J.J. Watt put like 50 million, some God amount, just money, just threw it at Red Cross. And if you were in the area, he was giving you $500. You just show up at MoneyGram, put your name up. They just give you $500 off the muscle. So that was Red Cross. That wasn't FEMA. So there are NPOs. I'm sure in that area they may have some people, but FEMA is definitely they're weird, and a lot of times the blue Navy, you got the guys that come in from the Cajun Navy boys. A lot of those dudes with the fire department and the sheriff, emergency operations dudes, they'll be really the first guys on scene. FEMA usually comes a little bit afterwards. They set up the distribution points.
That's actually part of FEMA. That's actually part of the systems of FEMA. The fire department goes first.
Right, they're off the muscle because they got the high water rescue vehicles, and then they get the Cajun Navy in and they start basically distributing stuff, and they'll have the FEMA places where you'll come and they'll have the food there. If it's really bad, they'll just commandeer some churches, and then they'll start. I've seen the National Guard do airdrops. If it gets real bad, they'll just do airdrops at the church, and they just have a long line. You just got to come up there and get it. I don't know if that happened there. I've seen a lot of stories where some of these private helicopter guys was getting in there trying to save some people, and they were stopped doing it. I understand that that's they're gonna probably shut the airspace down during that time. They're gonna shut the roads down because they don't want looters getting in there to people's houses. A lot of those people get in there, and you have looters that, knowing that those people have been evacuated, they'll go in there and rob your house. So I see a lot of that too.
Okay.
Yeah. The thing is, Kamala's team was doing a lousy job of explaining this shit, and it doesn't look good on her. So they're covering up stuff, and the press is covering the shit up too, because not even talking about it.
Yeah, I saw Biden made a real bad statement where he was just like, yeah, well, we gave them everything and they got everything they need, as people are still not really getting anything. And I'm like, that's not what you say, man. You got to watch how you explain it. I think they've definitely dropped the ball in explaining that.
Yeah,
I agree with you on that.
And so and when seasoned politicians seemingly drop the ball, they're probably hiding something.
Yeah, I asked BGS the other day, is this their Katrina? He said it's probably worse. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's probably it's probably worse.
They said 1,800, I think, was the official number on Katrina, which there was more. But the original number was 100, which I knew that was a lie. And then they brought up to 180, but they're getting reports from some people where they was like, it's over 300 people missing that they know. So that's it's at least 500. I figure if it gets up to about 1,500 people, then they'll start rivaling Katrina.
Well, the thing is, it's not the amount of deaths; it's also the amount of damage because it's over a bigger area.
Very true.
I felt Helene because when I got home, my lights kept on flickering. Because them winds were was off the chart.
Yeah. Yeah, because you have a very wide area of a whole bunch of states that didn't have power for like a whole week.
Did you see that story? Which was a sad deal. It was a corporation in Tennessee. I guess it's on the other side. It's eastern Tennessee, on the other side of the mountain. And they were basically at the corporation. They said, "Well, we want all the workers to stay, and we're gonna work today." Most of the time in Houston, if we got a hurricane, whether it's gonna be bad or not, they'll just say, they'll, even if they say come to work, you can file amnesty for that day. Well, they kept them in there, and then they got stuck. When they released them, they only in and out. It was one way in, one way out. And I think it was like 20 people got washed away. And I was like, man, that's crazy for them jobs to keep them people in there like that, man. Yeah, man, that's gonna be a heavy lawsuit on that one, man. Loss of life is crazy.
Yep. It's gonna be. I mean, it's gonna be messy, and the press is trying to tamp this down.
Can't tamp it down. Not in the information age, you're gonna try to tamp it down. Okay,
as best they can. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on John Kerry saying the First Amendment is a hindrance to misinformation? I was like, okay, bro, you want to go there? Okay.
He can say whatever he wants. It's not going anywhere. The thing is, I think it's not wasn't as big a thing before social media, but now since social media is out, they actually want to tamp down social media, and the First Amendment is in the way.
Yeah, well. Oh well.
Yeah, well, it's not going anywhere.
Well, what is their solution to the First Amendment if that's the case? Would it be just take one speech away, or
put pressure on the distributors of information like YouTube and Twitter and stuff like that? Yeah, they actually want to lock down the internet like China does, but they can't because of the First Amendment, right to free speech.
Yeah, what do you always say about this country, BGS? This is not an authoritarian country. This is a very liberal country.
Very liberal country on both sides. Yeah, a lot of people don't think that the most liberal people, believe it or not, are not left wing. They're actually most liberal people are actually the right wing people.
I think a lot of that stuff now that they're doing it, they're actually trying to tamp it down, like you were saying, AB, and they're trying to reverse it around to make it a race thing. And I think that is so weak in terms of, trying to sway a narrative. Hey, these people is dead, man. They got people that can't even get their babies no formula. People can't get no gas. And I'm used to it because we get one here in Houston, like at least once a year. And, gas, you see that hurricane coming.
So how was it? How are they trying to make it a race thing?
Well, they were saying that, they're starting to do this racial component to it where you have people coming in will say, hey, you know what? That's what it is. It's, these towns is mostly white hick towns. And, we glad that FEMA is messing them off, this and that. And, if it was black people, this and that. I'm like, man.
There's always going to be that. There's always going to be the animus back and forth. It always happens.
What's going on, James?
Hey, what's up?
I mean, you can't get race out of the United States. It is what it is, okay? Hell, if it's in the WNBA, it's going to be every place else, okay?
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Where's the hit?
You are muffled. Whoever's talking to is muffled.
I can barely hear you, Tavon.
Jesse. I think it's Jesse, isn't it?
That was Pookie.
Oh, Pookie? Okay.
Yeah, we could barely hear you, bro. You was muffled.
Is it better now?
Yeah, you're good now.
I was saying, is it is that bad in the with the hurricane and stuff like that? Where's it hit?
The flooding and the destruction is pretty bad,
Yeah, I was contacting relatives. I have relatives in North Carolina. They said they're fine, but yeah,
further
it was
down.
that bad.
Yeah, further down in Georgia and in East Florida, West Florida, it's pretty bad.
Parts of Tennessee.
Yeah.
Well, Florida kind of expected that. Florida damn near half swamp, so.
Yeah, but things all the way up into Georgia and places like that. So.
Yeah, the problem is like here in Houston, right? It's flat, it's swampy land, bayou country. The flooding, once those lakes and those bayous fill up, the water ain't got nowhere to go. It's gonna come up. Yeah. But like over there in North Carolina, where they had the major problem is they underneath that, they on that mountain in that valley. If you're in that valley and that water's hitting that mountain, it's coming down.
Yeah.
And that river bottom, man, if you got a house down there, you better get out of it. Even if we get like a category 1 that's gonna hit Galveston, they mandatorily evacuate the entire island. They mandatorily do it. Mandatory. And they tell you, if you're there after we mandatorily do it, we will not come and get you.
Yeah.
They would.
Yeah, fellas, I'm getting ready to go to bed, man. I'm getting
It is that time, yeah. All right, good people.
All right,
I'm overseas, so I'll catch y'all on the tub.
You still over? Oh, you're not back in the States yet? Okay.
No, I'm not back yet. I'll be back in a couple more days.
Okay.
All right. I'd like to thank everybody that came through. This is AB Media 83, and I'm going to bed. Peace. Yo, this is AB Media 83. Want to support the channel? Hit the Cash App. Also, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the video. Also, be sure to hit that bell notification so you can be notified next time I upload a live stream or video. And always remember, keep it grinding, keep it pushing, keep it moving. This is AB Media 83, and I'm out. Peace.